Hopefully we're working. Hey, hopefully we're working, everyone. Again, just gonna do a mic check. If people are here, please do let us know if the microphone's working, and we can sort of get into things. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. Obviously, weekend's here now. If you're abroad, obviously you might not be finishing your Friday just yet, but you know, wish you all the best on that one. I'm having a bit of trouble getting hold of DeathGuardDave. We're supposed to be doing it, but something could have come up, so hopefully it's nothing serious. But I have said to him if he does basically pop up at any point, he can feel free to just join. But obviously, he's still got quite a bit to talk about with the result and whatnot. I'm just going to quickly check my own things, make sure everything is working. If you're in the chat, please do let me know. I'm quiet, no problemo. I can sort that. Give me 1 second. It's not that, is it? It is sounds, that's what we're after. Recording. This one. Levels. Okay, no worry guys. Should hopefully go up a bit. Let me know if that's any better. If not, again, I can put it back up. Just a bit of pain in the ass, always, this bit, to get it sort of all set up and running. I haven't done anything for a while on here, so it's a bit out of date. And I had to get a new headset because my other one broke, so that's kind of threw stuff out a little bit. But hopefully that's better now, and hopefully we can all sort of hear, which would be nice. So as soon as you give me that confirmation chat, we'll sort of get into it. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good time. Let me pull up the, so hopefully you guys can see on here, got like the interwebs. Obviously we're on Best Coast Pairings at the moment. Should be able to see all that. One quick last check. So yeah, unfortunately a bit of a fall through tonight. Will is unfortunately busier than he thought. He's not able to get on tonight. DeathGuardDave, like I said, having a bit of issues getting in contact with him at the moment. Hopefully it's all good. But it is what it is. We'll just spend more time, obviously, me talking about myself. That's not smug at all. Hello, everyone in the chat. So we've got Tel, Zito, Emil Tronia, and Datsundes. How are you guys? Hope you're all having a good one. We also have a couple of announcements today. We've got some a new giveaway. Another giveaway coming up, which is quite cool. And obviously, we've hit a channel milestone. We've hit 3K subscribers. So we're going to announce what that means. And obviously, a lot of you already know. Anyone that's sort of been keeping up will obviously understand what's been going on. But hopefully, you know, something quite cool there for you can all get involved in as well. It'll be quite nice. Hope to find out what you think of the Death Shroud with the Lord in the current meta. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Definitely get into it. What a strange unit. Sometimes I'm sat there wishing I had anything else, and then other times they're literally carrying the game. It's very, very confusing. Right, so given that I've not heard anything from the fellas for right now, I'm just going to basically jump sort of straight into it. So, obviously at the weekend just gone, attended the Leicester Super Major, so on screen now. 199 people attending. I managed to finish in 15th with a record of 4-1, which I am quite happy with, to be honest, because my one loss, my one red number there, was to this fella here, right at the top, who won the entire event. And that's a very interesting game that we'll get into, a matchup I've not played against before, and my god, a matchup that I believe might need a bit of a nerf. It was something, but getting into it, basically, I managed to, like I said, finish in 15th overall. Let's have a look at our friendly William Reed. Managed to get himself 37. Take a loss in the first round, 2 wins, a draw, and a win. The draw that Will got, I believe, was a bit of an interesting one. Basically, if I remember right, what Will said was that he'd won the game, and then afterwards, his opponent came back and basically realised that he'd actually done the scores wrong or something, or he forgot to add on something that he should have done, which would have put him into the lead. Now, obviously, at this point, they've all packed away the models. They both agreed and submitted the score as it was at the time. So by all means, Will was in the right to just decline that completely and just say, look, mate, I have no proof. We don't, because technically he doesn't. I could technically go up to any of my opponents after the game, and I'm not saying the guy was. I'm not saying the guy was lying, but he could have. There's nothing to say he couldn't. So Will decided, okay, let's just meet down the middle. Let's just call it a draw then, and the guy agreed to that. But really, could Will have got his 4-1? Who knows? That would have been quite cool, but Will decided to go the sportsmanship route there, which is respectable, and just agreed to the draw there. I don't know how you guys in chat would have reacted to that if your opponent came over to you later on and basically said, hey, we should have had I should have won, or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I've never had that happen, so it'd be quite of a weird one. Because again, it's really hard once you've packed away the board and the state's not there. How do you actually know of the board state and who's actually in lead and who isn't? So that's quite an interesting one. But yeah, part of that, Will had quite a good run. He's going to have he has already actually recorded his Poxwalker to Plague Marine episode, which should be going up. It's either going to be tomorrow or Sunday. We're just trying to sort of pace it out a bit. Also, Spotify, people who really want Spotify stuff, should be updated very soon. We've submitted all the things for it, basically just waiting on Spotify to approve it, and then it will be live, and it's going to be like a massive upload. I think it's like 10 episodes or something like that are going up. So Spotify people should be happy. And then let's have a look how DeathGuardDave got onto. So I put in David Turner. So David Turner managed to get a 3-2 finish at the end in 81. He got a little unlucky, I won't lie, because he took his loss in the first round, 3 wins, and you're thinking at this point, okay, I took my loss in the first round, maybe I'll get an easy final, well, not an easy final game, but a nicer final game, and he managed to draw himself Vic VJ, which is a bit of an interesting one. So a bit unlucky there on David Turner's part, but he did actually, in his 4th game, play against my friend who I went down to the event with, Matthew Williams and his Chaos Knights, and they had a very fun and enjoyable game. Let's look at your guys' replies. That's a tough one, but everyone packed away. I would say it's hard to go back on it. Yeah, I agree, Z. I thought it was very generous of Will. If you shake hands and accepted the game has ended, that's that. Yeah, I kind of agree. Once the score's submitted, unless you notice it like directly there and then, if you've both agreed, if you've missed that to me would be like me missing a play. Like, oh mate, I could have just walked on that objective for 5 points. Unlucky, I could have walked on something in first turn and got 5 points. Like that's the game at the end of the day. But respect to Will for doing it. Same as Will, a non-competitive show, but in a big one. Sheesh, that's some orc play. Yeah, it definitely was. So props to Will for that. I'd like to think I'd be capable of that, but I'd also be. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you. I'd be like, I'm not too sure how I feel about that one. But overall, I managed to get a 4-1. Will managed to get a 1-1, and David Turner managed to get a 3-2. So all good results, all positive win rates for the faction. Hopefully, DeathGuardDave does manage to get on at some point, so we can talk about his games. However, for now, we'll basically just jump into sort of my matchups. We'll go through them. I have some pictures. My pictures was like really good in round 1. Pretty decent in round 2, and then round 3 fell off a cliff because I was like too busy trying to think because I was against an army I'd never played before. The guy who won the event, it was a really hard game. Then 4, kind of back up again, and then 5's an interesting one, which we'll get to. Just for the people that are here right now, I might as well just sort of get this out of the way. We do have another giveaway coming up, so this is a members giveaway, and we've been sent some goodies. We've been sent some goodies in this here bag. So this is from a fella who runs a shop called Saltire Gaming up in Scotland, I believe. And basically, he has been so generous as to donate some cool tools to the channel, which you guys, the members, have a chance to win in a giveaway. Now, what are said tools? So, I even gave these a go at the event because I've stolen one for myself, guys. I apologise. So, bear with me a sec while I unpack these because there's a lot of stuff. So we have 2 sets to give away. I got 3 sets in total. Sorry guys, I'm stealing one. So we have 2 sets to give away. So there'll be 2 winners for this one. So you have stuff like, here we go, a little contagion range reminder there for yourself. It's really cool. It's all custom made, all DeathGuard themes. You have stuff like contagion range sticks. So you have one for 3 inches, one for 6 inches, and one for 9 inches, which is again really cool. You have a reminder for which contagion you have picked. So there you go. You've got Skull Swarm Blight on that one. So it's really cool. Helps you remember. Obviously, you got some good old-fashioned little objective markers in there. It's really, really cool. Massive appreciation to the fella that sent these. I'm gonna get your name specifically. I remember your shop, but not your name. I do apologise, my guy. Let's go have a look what his name was. And there's even another whole bag of stuff still. So that's only half of the kit you get, which is really cool. Where are you at, my lad? You have vanished into my endless bloody names of people. AJ Harris, there we go. So AJ Harris from Saltite Gaming, massive appreciation for this. And then we have the second bag of goodies that you also win with it, which has a very cool tool, which I actually use quite a lot. So again, this is all to win for the members on a giveaway. It'll be done on the Discord server again. Same as last time, anyone that got involved last time, basically Nat will make a post, you simply just react to it and you're entered. So we have a 9-inch deep strike measure. This is really good, by the way. You just obviously put this end on your base and then you just go whoop around like that. And you can see that 9-inch deep strike is very nice. Obviously it says deep strike on it. And you got little symbols on it, little nergly stuff as well. You also have a little 3-inch sort of engagement slash engagement range slash 3 inches slash 2 inches. So really cool little tool to have, and 1/2 inch as well. That's also really useful to have on hand. And last but not least, in the bag of goodies that you can also get is, here we go, some little battle shock reminders. So it just has battle shock written on them. You can obviously put them next to units that are battle shock, so you can remember that. So yeah, it's really cool. Thank you so much for AJ for sending them in. They're really cool. I look forward to sort of managing to give 2 of these kits out to people. Again, I am stealing one. I have no shame. But my God, having a deep strike stick is something that I definitely needed. But yeah, I hope you guys will look forward to entering that giveaway. Like I said, I will get Natalie to put a post on the Discord. It'd be really cool for you to get involved with. So yeah, there we go. And thank you very much again to Saltire Gaming. Do check them out. If you're based anywhere, UK or Scotland area especially, check out their shop. And they also do little battle reports, running events, etc. like that. So really cool, check them out, and massive thank you. And again, they'll be up for grabs for everyone. Hope that's interesting and cool. So let's get into, well, I tell you what, first things first, let's have a look at my old list. It will be quite quick to run through my list. Not much has changed, to be honest with you. So it's basically the same list we managed to get the 5-0 with at Stonehammer. And basically all we've done is change out the Chaos Lord in Terminator armor for a Sorcerer in Terminator armor. So we've still got the triple biology Putrefier, still amazing, absolutely fantastic unit. DeathGuard Sorcerer in Terminator armor. The reason I swapped this out is because I really wanted to keep the kind of gambling damage-free attack. There's a lot of free wound models in the game at the moment. Chosen, aggressors, things like that. And having that big turn where you can potentially just pick up an entire unit, especially at good AP, is actually really nice to have. So it's decent, it's pretty useful. I have obviously put an enhancement on there, the droning. Some of you are probably thinking, why the hell did I do that? Literally, it's just because I had spare points. Don't take the droning. It's awful. I forgot it even existed. I just wanted to spend some points because there's nothing else I could spend them on. But it is terrible. Then we have obviously Foul Blight Spawn, so now I have a nice fights first. The Lord of Contagion with Deadly Pathogen, who once again has surprised me greatly. If you just look at him as a giant beat stick and walking around as a giant beat stick gonna beat. Does quite a bit of damage, so quite happy with that. Typhus, who I had the moment, I had the games where people have always said to me, why do you take Typhus? I don't think he's that good. And I'm like, oh, he just like D6 models. And people are like, yeah, but I always roll 1s. And I'm like, that's unlucky. That's not really going to happen in a tournament. Over the 5 games I had, Typhus got to use his ability 6 times, and I rolled 5 1s. And when I did get it off, I rolled 2 on the mortal wounds. So that was very cool. So Typhus has been very suicidal in this one, apparently. He's just not liking his chances very much, but hey ho. Just quickly in chat, thanks for keeping results, sharing your tips. In the last 3 weeks, I've managed 2 3 and 2s and 1. Very nice, dude. Well done. You got a teams event this weekend. Best of luck in the teams event, mate. Congrats on the 3-0 at the RTT, and also congrats on the 3 and 2s at the 5-round events. Well done, mate. What's the best way to kit out our Plague Marines, Melter Gun or Plasma? So my personal one is the Plasma, as you can see on the screen there. I just like the utility of the plasma, the extra shots. Melter relies way too much on getting the 5s to hit with lethal. If you don't, like, Melter's so underwhelming, especially you got to be within 6 inches to get the extra damage. There's always a chance you just roll 1 or you can just miss. I get the appeal of Melter, but in general, I don't like Melter this edition unless it's on a knight, because for some reason their Melter is like +4 damage, 24-inch range, strength 12 for some reason. But, I prefer Plasma personally. For me, it is, like I said on the screen, that's the way I'd run it. However, I have noticed something, that heavy plague weapons can be so goddamn whiffy. I had a lot of whiffs with them, kind of annoyingly, as we'll get into on game 1 especially. So I think I'm going to drop the Plague Spewer, maybe even the Blight Launchers. The problem is, like, I want them to be able to do threats in multiple phases, so having all the weapons on it having multiple guns is really good. The problem is, I've had it now where I've rolled just a bit too many 1, 2s, and 3s in the heavy plague weapons, and I really wish I had some bubotic weapons. So I might drop the Spewer and the 2 Blight Launchers to bump it up to 3 bubotic weapons, still keep the plasma guns, but again, we'll have to see. Don't want to risk losing too much on the actual ranged output of the unit. 2 units of 5 with bubotic weapons, again, Plague Marine, Blight Launcher, Plasma Gun. Blight Launchers are fine in the 5-man squads because they're alright, they don't rely on the heavy hit so much. And then 2 5-man squads with a heavy plague weapon. Triple Rhino, which, my god, if it is the Rhino meta at the moment. Rhinos are goddamn everywhere, and they're also just brilliant. Everyone hates my Rhinos, and I hate other people's Rhinos. So many goddamn Rhinos everywhere. But they're doing a fantastic job keeping you guys safe, letting you get staging points. Anyone that watched my deployment video will understand what a staging point is. For those who don't, it's basically an area of the board where you manage to get your Rhino into. You don't have to drive out and expose it, and you can launch out Plague Marines from those areas. Basically helps you control the board, sets up charges, sets up area denial. Rhinos are really good for that. Then we have the 2 units Death Shroud Terminators, which are the most contentious point of this list. Sometimes they're amazing, sometimes they're terrible. I could possibly debate dropping down to 1, maybe. But I do like having the 2. Hey, here we go. DeathGuardDave has messaged me. Give me a second. We might have a guest. Yay! Of course. Just jump on disc. I'll have to do some on the fly editing there, but should be fine. Then we get at least another person in here who can talk some Death Guard as well, which is going to be really cool. I find 5-man heavy weapons hurt only one igniter. Yeah, that's the problem I'm having at the moment as well, Sam. I had a 10-man squad get into some custodians we'll get into and just fluffed the 4s so hard. And I was just like, really? And it's a bit grim. So yeah, the bubotic weapons are kind of slightly more interesting at the moment. But yeah, that's the list. We've got Triple Plague Burst Crawler. These things are just great. Indirect is such a good tool to have. I like having the 1 sprayer just for covering my home. 2 entropies. Entropies are alright. People fear it more than they should, and that's kind of the benefit. That's really the mind game. And then 2 units of Nurglings, because Nurglings basically, are just amazing. They do everything. They score me so many points. There we go. DeathGuardDave's here. I'm going to give him a ring. Hopefully you guys should be able to hear him. So guys in stream, I'm going to have to rely on you guys letting me know if you can hear Mr. DeathGuardDave when he answers. Oh, there we go. Hello? Okay, right. Stream, let me know. Give us a hello, Mister, again.
Hello.
Right. Everyone on the stream, let me know if he's too quiet, too loud. Yeah, good to have you here, mate. I'm good, man. I'm good. I was a little scared then. I was like, okay, we're going solo, boys, but I'm not going solo. We got back to a duo.
No. Never leave you hanging.
Oh, nice. Unfortunately, Will can't join us tonight. He's a very busy week, so he won't be able to join us in tonight. But hey, two is better than 1, definitely. So, just to catch you up, I've basically just gone through my list. Again, not many changes from the last time, but I think one thing that's going to be probably more interesting for people is if we take a look at your list, because your list is a little different.
My list was silly.
So, there we go. Let me just check the stream. Turn his volume up, of course, not a problem. There we go. Should hopefully turn my volume personally down. Yeah, so I don't run Brigands personally, people in chat. It's not because I shouldn't. Brigands are really good. I think even DeathGuardDave will agree. But we're just really stubborn, and we try to keep pure as much as possible. And before someone says it, yes, we know Nurglings are technically demons, but they still count because DeathGuard models have Nurglings on them, but we don't have Chaos Knights on them. Therefore, part of the army.
Read the lore, like we talked about this last time. There's little lawns everywhere.
There's little lords all over. I've turned you up, guys. Let us know if that is better for you.
Do you want me to turn them up in Discord or my end as well? Maybe my mic's low.
See if this works first. See what they say. We'll let them go back to me. I've already turned you up on my end, so hopefully that'll be good enough for them.
Sure.
And we'll see. If it's not, then we'll turn you up on your side. But yeah, DeathGuardDave, do you want to take us through the logic of your list, mate?
Logic? It was quite simple, mate. It was we talked last time and we were like, how do we blow up vehicles and on monsters? And so I went. My usual sledgehammer approach was bring loads of tanks, las cannons, and hell brutes to make things weaker. Then I realised I also probably had to play the mission as well. So I put in some troops and some cultists. It was I think I wanted to, we can't just talk the talk right on here. We got to walk the walk as well. Mm-hmm. So I said this is what I would do if I was going to take an anti-vehicle list, and so I took it to Leicester and I was like, let's see what happens if I put this on the table. So I had 2 biologist putrefiers and a foul blight spawn. So 2 of those went into a 10-man squad, so it made it fight first, and obviously all the fun stuff, lethals and all the other good bits. And then the other biologist putrefier went in with a 7-man. Both units were kitted out with melee as much as possible. The smaller unit had a blight launcher and a plague spear.
Now, interestingly, just before you came on, I was talking about putting more melee weapons in my squad because I've had too many times where the heavy weapons have whiffed.
Yep. Yeah. Same. I had it in a round, and then the pebotic weapons did most of the pickup after.
Yeah, that's I think that I'm missing a bit. I'm considering dropping the blight launchers. They don't tend to do too much anyway. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of debating keeping the plasma guns though, because I like a bit of shooting in the squad. But yeah, I think I agree with you there. And a great question for someone in the chat, which is perfectly timed for you coming on. Have you ran predators of either variety? Are they not worth bringing? Well, if we scroll down here on this by the way, cultists. Just a quick note on cultists. I took them out of my list. I've not been running them. I really want to try and fit a unit back in. I really wish I had a unit of cultists. The ability for them to just expose themselves turn 1, like do a cleanse. If you even string them out on some missions, you can get cleanse for 2 objectives with the 1 unit, which is really nice. And just not having them means I have to expose a plague marine unit, which I'm not too happy about turn 1. But yeah, we'll come back around to that. So as you can see here, does DeathGuardDave use predators? Do you want to answer that one?
I took loads. I took 2 Predator Annihilators with triple las cannon, obviously on it, 2 on the sponsons, 1 twin linked on the top. I then took 2 Predator Destructors, auto cannons and twin plague heavy bolters on them. I took a Land Raider with 4 las cannons on it and a twin heavy bolter, and so the heavy bolter on the front. Everything had havoc launchers. Everything had combi weapons. Now the reason for the combi weapons was, whilst you might think that's silly going into vehicles, is if it's got 1 wound left and you roll that 6 on a dev wound, or you roll that into an elite infantry bit, you pick it up. So the predators the destructors particularly, I would say, were great. The autocannons 48-inch range, the plague bolters are 36-inch range, the las cannons on the other predators are 48-inch range. You can then play a very interesting game of, I put everything on the table every game, just to immediately go, it's here. I've got lanes of shooting. If you put something out to shoot one of my tanks, you're going to get shot back by 3. It was really interesting. I'll talk more as we get into it, Aiden, about how the rounds went. But in terms of the construction of list, it was about having lots of tough armor that can take out enemy tanks or monsters. That I've got then a few units of infantry to play a basic mission game. Nothing like you do in your toolbox setup, but still enough to kind of just get out there. But it was more I expected to walk into Space Marines and the Ironstorm detachment we talked about before.
Yeah, so did I.
Didn't walk into it.
I didn't walk into one either.
Yeah, but it turns out it could kill pretty much anything except my final game.
I did mention to people you did get unlucky and get Vig.
Yeah.
What are the odds of that?
I was not feeling so good up that I was like, got to that point preparing. I was like, this list is fucking, it rocks. And then I was like, oh great, there we go.
Dan in chat's very happy with a big old yeah for all the Predators. I've ran Predators as well. I'm not as much as this madman, but I have included 1 or 2 Predators in my list before, and I've never been disappointed to bring Predator. I'll be honest with you. They are quite squishy when they get focus fired. But as long as you sort of like give them something else to focus on, so like your Land Raider, for example, I imagine got shot a lot more than your Predators did.
Yeah. But I didn't really mind that it was a big distraction kind of effect, right?
Yeah.
And then when you and that's the unfortunate guy who I deliberately placed it to make him run and Gron into it, outgot 10 Plague Marines with fight first, lethals on 5s and 6s, grenade strats.
Back to the warp, mate.
Bye, mate.
Yeah, literally. So as you can see, so DeathGuardDave, a lot of people talk about a demon engine list. This is a non-demon but engine list. So lots of standard, like I said, got Hellbrute in there as well, Land Raider, 4 Predators, 2 of each variety, 2 Plagueburst Crawls because it's always good to have some indirect, 1 Flamer, I'm guessing that's for watching your home objective.
100%, yep.
Yeah, I did the same in mine. It's so good just to be like, yep, don't try and deep strike on me. And then obviously, and then should be kind of there just to, again, on the odd chance it actually does something.
Which actually, I rolled a surprising amount of lethal hits on the entropies.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I think I rolled lethals when I was shooting like a Nurgling unit, and that was about it. I was like, great, don't need you now, but hey ho. I just started getting into the Warhammer and got into DeathGuard at the beginning of the year before the rules updates. Okay, so it's better now, thankfully. Before the rules updates, at the right time. Yeah, he joined on the uptrend, not the downtrend.
Yeah,
so.
and welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, welcome to Warhammer. Welcome specifically to DeathGuard. Hope you enjoy yourself here. Hello, you. Dogs just keeps walking and seeing what I'm talking to. Right. Okay. So let's get into some rounds. So, round 1. We'll start with you, David, Mr. Turner. Well, not round 7. No, round 1, please. You put yourself in as David on you there, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, there we go, David Turner. There's a few Davids, apparently. There you go. So, what were you against in your first round, mate?
So, I built this list to deal with Space Marines most played chapter, expecting to run into Space Marines, and got Chaos Knights War Dog spam. I think it was 5 Brigands, 5 Carnivores, and 2 Stalkers.
I think it's loaded the wrong bloody list there.
That's right.
It's saying World Eaters on mine.
That was my second game, I think, or third.
Honestly, this thing is terrible.
Don't worry. I know what this was. It was. I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. It's going to come down to basically who gets the best turn of shooting off. So it's long edge deployments. We weren't very far away from each other. They've obviously got the great strat to just move through cover for 1 CP, or for 2 of them, 2 models.
Do you remember what the fella's name was?
It was. Hang on, I've got it all. It's on my other Discord. Hold on a second.
App, isn't it? Yay for BCP, everyone. It's really good at telling you those rounds.
Hang on a sec. Let's go to general on here. I've got them actually all summarised. I believe his name was Ross.
Ross, no worries. That's enough for me. Let's go find you, Ross. Did a space there you go, Ross Law. Got it.
There we go. What a memory.
So, here we go. So, 2 War Dog Stalkers, 1 with an enhancement. I'm not sure what that one is. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Brigands and 4 Carnivores, and then 3 units of Nurglings. Sileski's popping up everywhere at the moment.
Yeah. That was in their quite cheap model. Gets back up on a 2
with full wounds.
Demon Prince. Yeah, 4 wounds. Yeah, so it's fast moving. It got into it. This was a really straightforward situation. I had as it was always a risk with this list, ended up with a massive whiff round of shooting, and then basically had too much stuff up close to me, and like Carnivores got into my line. I managed to do quite a lot of damage to him by the end of the game, but it didn't allow me to play the mission, and so I obviously didn't pick up enough points and kind of do it. But his it was an interesting first run for it, and it was not into a list I was expecting. And as we'll see in later rounds, there were some good learnings from this match. But it was simply a case of he came out enough. I set up to annihilate him back, and I rolled. I believe Stephen Box calls it getting diced.
Yeah.
So it's how it goes. But yeah, just basically ended up getting a bit penned in, and the guy was nice, good player as well. So Chaos Knights took the round.
Oh, that's fair, man. Chaos Knights can be, especially because people don't know this was the first mission, so it's Dawn of War. So there's a lot of space for you to get pushed on. It's very hard to put like chokes, because this is probably the most open map, isn't it?
And also the ability for them to jump through cover, to just jump onto points, and also with the way the buildings are positioned, like there's kind of the medium-sized L's. Actually, you can get 2 dogs in there, quite easily, and then you've got a good bit of OC control. There you go, it was very easy for him to jump onto that. If we look at it from the right-hand side, get behind that wall, get 2 of them behind there really easily, and also to tuck in behind that kind of wall over on the left. The other thing I did on this one was I actually cornered, basically deliberately kind of set myself up from my home and kind of covering across to my natural, and then like just stuck the 2 destructors over on the left. So I'm like, this is everything's the same toughness, it's all same wounds, and I basically used that just as a way to put some fire on that side. But it was equally like, if that side collapses, then I'm giving myself good cover from las cannons. But it was a good game, nice opponent, but ultimately got a little bit diced in that one.
Yeah, I think a show did some stats recently, and I think our win rate is lowest against Chaos Knights. Like one of the worst 3 matchups for us, which is quite interesting. Again, it could be that weakness to armor. But I did end up going as Chaos Knights round 2, but round 1 for myself.
What did you get?
I got Custodes, which is quite lucky.
Yes, you did.
On the round 1. For those who don't know, Custodes, I think, is probably one of the worst armies in the game at the moment. But
also one that you've played more, I think, than any other faction.
Yeah, there's a reason my picture, my banner has a picture of me stood on a Custodes helmet. I think I just have a reputation for murdering Custodes, apparently. Before the buffs, when they were up top, I was still murdering them. I think my local scene is just full of like 20 Custodes players. So all I do is play against Custodes, so I'm so used to it. So he had a Blade Champion, so the guy that gives them the advance and charge. Shield Captain for the free stratagems every turn. Another Shield Captain for more free stratagems every turn. Ballistic Grenade Launcher. He's got the reactionary move. The un-Battle Shocker unit for free. And then this guy has like triple OC and plus 2 attacks. So 1 unit of 5 Custodian Guard. So, fairly chunky. Again, the caps now, they can't go to 10 mans. The cap's at 5 mans, thank God.
Thank God.
But still quite scary. 4 rerolls to wound on objectives, which is quite nasty. A massive unit of 5 Alaris Custodians. That's the Terminators. So a big unit of Custodians Terminators there. So it's quite scary. 4 unit. 2 units. There's a unit of 5 Wardens and a unit of 4 Wardens. These are the guys that have the once per game 4 Feel No Pain. Which is obviously quite annoying to deal with. Lasts for 1 phase, and they have to declare at the start of a phase, so we'll get into how we dealt with that. Venatari Custodians, these are the flying guys. Quite annoying them. I didn't know.
Very annoying.
They get to rapid ingress for free, even if you've already done it, which means on his go turn, he managed to rapid ingress the 5-man Terminator Bob with the captain, and then also rapid ingress the Venatari. So that's a lot of stuff to deal with at once. Quite scary.
Nice.
Yeah. We have Witch Seekers, which is just unit sister silence, just chaff pretty much with all the flamers. A Calidus Assassin, if you've not played against an Imperium army, you probably know what these are by now. Really annoying.
They are everywhere.
They are everywhere. They have the upsy downy ability where they can pick themselves up at the end of the turn, infiltrate, all that kind of stuff. And this little lady, which is quite cool actually, Carrier Draxus, so she's an Inquisitor, but she can join to any Imperium battle line, so she actually joined the 5 Custodian Guard. And what she actually gives them is, on a 2-up in the command phase, she gives them Lone Op.
Yeah. My buddy who plays Custodians uses that all the time.
Yeah, Lone Op to Custodian Guard is definitely something. I was like, that's a thing.
Yeah.
This is quite grim. They also give her their ability, so she has 4 rerolls to wound. with her weapon, which is a dev wound flat 3 damage pistol, like rifle thing. So give full rolls to wound, so that's quite scary. And her psychic tempest is an ignore indirect. It's an indirect flamer that basically is like 2 damage each and quite scary versus Nurglings. So she's actually kind of scary, I won't lie.
Yeah, she's quite cool.
She's very cool. So I do actually have some pictures of this one, so I just need to quickly load them up. So let me go on here.
I'm also going to send. If I can, I'll send you a couple of pictures of so people can see what this many Death Guard tanks on the table looks like.
Yeah, do it. So I'm going to just quickly change my screen capture so hopefully people can see. There we go. Look at that. So that is, however, the wrong screen that I have captured. We need the other one with the big picture on it. I could just capture the screen. That's fine. I'll capture the screen very briefly. Okay. So here we have. So let me get the right actual one, because I've played a million things. Where's the right one? Too many pictures. What board was I on? It was this one here. I didn't have time to arrange all these. I've been so mad busy at the moment, so it's been a bit of a grim one. So that's the Chaos game. I wish they were in order. That would be very nice. So we have... That's Custodes. That's Custodes. Then... I must have one of Deployment versus Custodes. I know I do. That's Chaos Knights. That's not it. That's Chaos Knights. That's Custodes. Okay, apparently I've not sent the right picture. But we can sort of see the idea of what's going on. It's a bit messy, but hey ho. So, sorry for being a bit of a mess there, guys. But basically, in this game, I had obviously, so I'm against Custodes. Don't have war deployments. It's quite simple. So what I actually did, well, I'm going to just quickly see if I've got this first image of deployment because it's kind of important. Because people want to see deployment. Sorry guys, I'm normally a bit more thinky than this, but I have literally, I got home and then was just like, oh, straight to it, which was a bit grim, to be honest. That's the first picture. Is that actually the first picture I took? Okay, never mind. I didn't get one of deployment. This is what happens when you get like super anxious at the start of like events and you don't think to yourself. But basically, actual deployment was one plague was Squirrel on home objective, one Rhino on the just here next to the Plague's Crawler, one Rhino sort of in the open behind here, just with his toe behind. The Custodes list doesn't have any long range anti-tank shooting, but still don't be too stupid, so make sure you get some cover safe just in case. So everything kind of deployed sort of in the open, free to move. Nurglings in the centre, I playing fixed every round again. In this one, yeah, it's so good. We went for Teleport Homers and Cleanse again. This is a nice and safe one. A bit scary this because all the 3 objectives are quite central, so it's quite easy to get charged. But I have stuff like Rhinos that can do the cleansing. I took -1 save against Custodes. I don't think there's an excuse to take anything else.
Nope.
-1 to hit is just negated by them a lot of the time because they can get rerolls. They can also, you know, dropping them to hitting on freeze is cute, but it's still like hitting more often than not. I'd rather just kill them quicker.
Yep.
So first thing I did on here, basically, I managed to get first turn. All I did is there was a Rhino here. It just drove up to the centre and basically parked on the centre with all the guys inside it. And all we did is do a cleanse on there. On the left here, we had a Rhino behind this wall. Disembark a squad, move advance at cleanse on this point with a biologist putrefy for the assault weapon. So we had a double cleanse and a teleport homers. And this Rhino here basically just moved up to where the Terminators sort of are now. And we shot our mortars at the shield guard because he had his, sisters off the board. I think we had 1 wound. But, you know, that's fine. Now, in his turn, he actually played it quite passively. He brought, sort of passively, he brought his shield guard out to the front of this L here and basically wanted to shoot my Rhino and try and pop it with the combination of the Inquisitor's Dev Wound ability plus all the shooting. They can also shoot twice, which allows her to shoot twice, which is quite interesting. From, you know, the once per game Sentinel Storm ability. Because thankfully I wasn't on an objective, so no full reroll. Oh no, they were, because if they're on an objective, so full rerolls to wound as well, which is quite scary, but it wasn't too bad. he moved a unit of wardens into this building. Now, one thing that happened here, which kind of annoyed me, we had a unit of wardens in here and a unit of wardens behind this L. So the advance really couldn't charge. So my Rhino on here was kind of safe. I had set up so that my Rhino here on the central point could disembark, and this objective, the lip of this objective is 10 inches away, yeah?
Right.
So in his turn, he actually kind of messes up, and he only puts the Caladius Assassin and 1 Custodes on this point. So he only's got 3 OC on it.
And he got 3 OC, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, great. So in my turn, what I'll do is I'll get out, I'll move, I'll advance. That basically is going to deny him his primary. So I will hold 1, 2, 3 at the start of my turn. If I just get on there, it'll hold him to 1, which is really nice. And again, my empty Rhino on here will just, well, I've got 5 guys, and it will just cleanse. We'll cleanse here again. It's teleport home. So we're not overextending at all. We're just keeping it nice and calm. Yep. And we're denying primary. So I got out my 3, I moved my 5, needed 2 on the advance, roll a 1. Command point, 1.
No.
So I had 5 dumbasses stood in the middle of the open who literally did nothing. So instead of going to do that, I actually just made a wall to move block the wardens coming down. So if you do get a bad roll, guys, try and make the best of it.
Make the best of it, yeah.
Yeah, make the best of it. Just move block instead. Very annoying, though, because it means he did get the primary. I managed to shoot from the... Actually, quite interestingly, his ladies that are here now, he made a mistake. He put his Inquisitor lady on the corner here. See this corner? Mm-hmm. And the rest of the squad was along the wall, which means, because of how wound allocation works, if I shoot his squad, she's the last to live, because she's a character.
Which means he cannot.
Means you can't pull her.
Absolutely.
So what it meant is, basically, I disembarked the 10-man squad from this Rhino. I might actually just think it was just a 5-man. Yeah, it was this 5-man here. So 10-man, because the 10-man's still inside on this point. So the other 5-man squad that was on the Rhino that was on here got out, and we shot this Rhino plus fire in deck. We used the grenade strap from the 5-man, shot, and then all 3 Plague Burst crawlers also shot, and then this squad here got out on the other side of the wall and shot. We basically wanted to shoot this this unit of shield guard down to near dead, and we actually managed to get it that after all our shooting, all that was left was a custodian guard on 1 wound, and her. But the problem was the custodian guard was on this side of the lip and not on the objective, which meant that he couldn't fight first. So the 5-man squad charged in, managed to kill him, kill her, and then consolidate behind this wall. So at this point, we've took his home now. All pressure's basically on him. So that's when this is this turn now where he decides to go all in on it. So his wardens come down, charge this Rhino, kill that. These wardens came round. They want to charge the Plague Burst Crawler. He's kind of just leaving this at home. He's going to shoot it with everything, but I actually get real look in the saves, and these guys live. And his plan was at that point, he changed his mind. He's like, okay, I will instead charge this Rhino, and I'll just use the movement to sort of get 1 guy in on the Plague Marines, because there's only 3 Plague Marines left. And he failed to charge on the Rhino, even with the reroll.
Wow.
So I got a bit lucky. These Terminators were rapid ingressed in. There was a Rhino where these Terminators are. They charged that and exploded that. And he dropped some Bird Boys behind this ruin to just hold this objective. And a squad of Sisters of Silence dropped in at the back over here, who then engaged in the most amazing fight you'll ever see. Sisters versus Nurglings. This went on from turn 2 to turn 5.
Amazing.
And in the end, I think... no one won. I think I had 1 base left on a wound, and he had 1 sister left. Yay! I obviously teleported in Nurglings behind that L just for teleport homers.
Yeah.
So when he's basically come down his go turn, kills that Rhino. But all he's killed is Rhino, so I'm actually kind of happy. I rapid ingressed in his turn. A Lord of Contagion and Death Shroud behind this L here to sort of like counter this Terminator break when it comes in. So then we move forward, so we can see the next turn. So all these Terminators have gone bye-bye. Just the captain's left on 5 wounds. The middle Warden's Brick was basically the shoot target. So we shot them with everything we had. Sorcerer, Terminator Lord popped these once per game. The Death Shroud came out and sprayed it. This unit over here was then charged by the 10-man, because again, it's not on objective, so it can't fight first. And this combat here, I managed to, with the heavy plague weapons, sustained hits, went in, I did 16 wounds with the heavy plague weapons, and he proceeded to make 16 4-up invulnerable saves. He didn't take a single goddamn wound.
I remember you telling me about that. That's really horrible.
Which was really worrying because it meant like this could really flip back. Thankfully, he used all his luck on his saves, and his damage rolls were shit as well. So he actually he killed like 4 Plague Marines back. So I got a bit of luck back there. Typhus drops in the corner here, and as you can see, he did his mortal wound ability, and that dice next to him is because he hurt himself.
Were you running like I did? You were running Typhus solo.
Yeah, every game. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he dropped in, went to kill the assassin, and then flubbed it and rolled a 1 and did damage to himself.
Yeah, I had that happen,
which is great. So at this point, kind of writing's on the wall for my opponent. All he's got left is his shield captain. These 3 Benatari boys, which is kind of annoying. They charge and kill the Plague Burst Crawl over 2 turns, but it's not near anything important, so I don't really care. This is all the important stuff over here. We managed to wipe out the rest of the units here. All this here kills that fella. And basically all the entropies and the mortars from these guys basically pick up the last guys. This assassin does, however, charge in and kill Typhus, which is very upsetting. So the Calidus lived to fight another day and annoy me, but for the past like turn 3, 4, 5, I've had his home objective. These guys started burning it, obviously. Now, very funnily, what happened is on his turn 4, so he killed this thing on like my turn 4 because I went first, and his turn 4 he just flew onto my back objective here. And he started to burn it, which I was like, okay, you know what, it is what it is. So my turn 5, I'm like, okay, we'll just leave that. It's not really important. I've got his. I've burnt what I need to. I'm going to get max primary anyway. I'll let him have it. Just focus on killing this guy, all that stuff, and scoring max on secondaries as I can. So we did that. The issue was he burnt this secondary. I burnt this secondary, and then his final turn, he's like, okay, I've got this assassin. I have this squad of Venatari. Let's see what objectives I can do. You just want to try and get some points at the end of the game, don't you? He drew Defend Stronghold, which I have literally just burnt, so he can't possibly defend it. And he drew Capture Enemy Outpost, which is capture my home objective, which he's just burned that. So he can't score that either. So it was a pretty funny end to the game. But in the end, we did manage to get to where's the score? There we go. It was 96-55. So as you can see, cleanse. We only dropped for 1 turn. Deploy teleport homers again, 2 in the center, but 3 in his deployment. Really nice and simple. Kept him off the primary with our superior OC. He had a bit of bad luck on some of the draws towards the end, but it's mainly because he was just out of units. I don't think Custodians really want to be doing. I think maybe he should try and get a fixed plan. He just doesn't have enough units to play tactical and reactor stuff. But
they're too expensive to be throwing a unit into the corner for investigate signals. Or
exactly.
Like that.
Unless you're bringing a lot of chaff. But fair play to the guy. It was a good game. It was a good laugh. And a good bit of fun. And it turns out some of the fellas in the Nurgle's Mansion Discord are actually friends with this guy, and they were making up some stories. Apparently, every time I killed one of his units, I audibly went "Awooga," and then I spat on him. What else did I do? I refused to buy him a drink when he asked for one. All sorts of stuff, which was quite funny to read, but. But yeah, that was a pretty safe game. One, I'm going to quickly change the screen back to.
Good job, man.
But yeah, I was quite happy with that one. Sorry, chat, I couldn't see you for all of that there. I'll just catch up on chat very quickly.
Yeah, go.
Hayden, as you already know, I'm beginning myself. Yep. Came out rules broken. Morty up. I started playing with him a bit. Since then, I started playing with objective markers in these 2 games. In these 2 games, I played about Morty. My mates were like, "Where is Morty at? What do you think about Unbeloved Morty?" Morty's in an interesting place, isn't he, Dave?
Yeah, I think hopefully what you'll see over the course of this discussion is that the Death Guard is totally viable without Morty. And Aiden and I have been saying this for a while, is that our army is you can build what you want out of it. Like we're going to show 2 very different lists playing at the same event, and there was Will, who was is obviously not with us today, but Will was running another list that was different, and then another guy from Vanguard was running another list that was different. You can make it work.
Yeah, Mortyless, he's still fine. He's a bit worse because of the rulings that we're using at UKTC, but again, that's just the ruling for this event. In general, that ruling is not there, so he's still quite powerful. We're just kind of getting used to it because we think the ruling's going to become like commonplace, so we're getting used to it. But having Morty is both fine, and it's also fine without it. Without it, I feel it's a bit more freeing. You can move your units around a bit more. You're not too worried about trying to stay in his aura all the time. But bringing him is
that
also
was a really
really
good point you made. That was a really good point you made last time about that. Is that when he's not on the table, when he's on the table, he gives a lot, but he also makes you have to restrict the way you play a lot. And so actually not having him there does let you just go, oh, I can actually play quite a bit faster.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like not having to worry about the auras all the time, and also, but sometimes you do miss having a big tanky chunky boy at the same time. So it swings and roundabouts really. So there's some benefits, some negatives to bringing or not bringing Morty. But I think you're fine to take him. Like taking Morty is not directly making your list worse.
Nope,
it's just it's a side grade. It's like, what do you prefer?
What's your playstyle?
Yeah. When playing cleanse, how do you deploy to ensure a 2x cleanse on turn 1? Okay, so usually there's a fairly safe cleanse. There's usually an objective that's safe. So if you look at the mission we just had then, for example, that would be this L on the left, so you just get a unit in there. That's fairly easy. Then basically it comes down to a question. Are you okay to just take the 1 cleanse? Or you're basically having to throw something away. And this is where me and Dave were talking before about wanting cultists back in the list. Because a lot of times you will have to, there's not a case of how do I not lose something? You're going to lose something. So if you're going to lose something, you might as well do it with the cheapest thing you can. So 10 cultists who can just scout move to get definitely within 6 of the objective, then move on to it, do a cleanse, and at that point they can die, they've got your points. They also draw something out to have to shoot them, which is quite nice. So it's one of those, you either decide to not risk losing a unit and just go for the 2 points on cleanse, because even if you only get 5 cleanses on 1 point, it's still 10 points over the game.
It's worth it. Yeah,
it's worth it.
I played this as a practice game, and with my 2 units of cultists, and I actually staged them both behind the big L over on the right hand side. In that game, I got first turn, I scout moved, I chucked a unit of 10 onto that point, I cleansed with it, and then actually he did, instead of putting enough into them to get round and take them off of it, which if he had have done, I would have taken that unit out. But then all I did was, after he shot that unit off, was the next turn I basically had a load of cultists to basically put on there afterwards, and it was like, we'll do it again. Come and stick something else out.
And don't feel like you have to. One thing I've noticed as well is you don't have to run those second unit cultists out on turn 2. When it's like turn 5 and stuff's dying, like empty rhinos are great for just cleansing.
Definitely.
Many times you can just do it with something like that, but it's more about knowing the matchup, knowing do you need to score early, do you need to score late, or how if you know their score is going to be something really high because they've gone fixed and it's really hard to stop, like sisters are really hard to stop scoring, you might just have to sacrifice a unit to make sure you get max cleanse every turn. But yeah, it's a decent round 1. So what did you get round 2, mate?
So round 2, I got Harlequins. I opened up PCP pairing, and the first thing I saw at the top was the word Eldari, and was like, oh, okay. And then I started scrolling, and I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. This is going to be the most improbable matchup of a DeathGuard tank list versus super fast, and it's the classic Harley's list, right? It's loads of boats, loads of troops. Yeah. That's what it was. There wasn't even a Death Jester in there. Like, the guy had gone max units, max vehicles, and a really lovely guy. I played a guy called Ben from Trash Wargaming.
Is he the fellow with the gorgeous army?
Yeah, really good. And we had a really fun game. You can see the list here. You'll just see it's troop.
Oh my god, 6 Star Weavers, so 6 transports.
Yep.
These are the bikes, I believe. Yep. So 3 begins. Yeah. He literally maxed out everything he could take, didn't he?
He maxed everything. So and it was so. I think one of the pictures I sent you in. The second picture is on the same map that you'll know. It's a kind of weird coloured map. That was the deployment I did against the Harleys. That one, the second one. The first, you can see it anyway. The first one's nice anyway, but that's against the Chaos Knights game.
Quickly change the screen so the fellas can see it. There we go.
We had.
This is DeathGuardDave's armor. This is what armored superiority looks like.
So yeah, when I say I play Sledgehammer Warp 40k, that's kind of what I mean.
There you go.
So that was a Harlequins.
Just while you're talking, I'm just going to refill my drink, mate.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
I've got my headset so I can still hear you. Don't worry.
So he's got loads of boats, he's got loads of mobility, and obviously what I'm looking at is going, how do I he can get round the board faster than I can. So I played basically teleport, and I think I played engage on this one because of the diagonal deployment. So I threw a rhino. I threw a rhino onto the middle, which has got 7 plague marines in it and a biologist speechfire, and then I basically. This is actually after I'd kind of deployed. So I tucked the vehicles in, and I'm like, I can't hide everything, but what I'm going to do is make him have to throw his bikes towards an edge. So he threw his bikes along the top edge, and also if you are going to take a land raider on UKTC terrain, and I went into this knowing this was going to happen, there are certain maps where there's only one place. If you want to put it on the board, you can deploy it, and that was in this instance where that kind of pile of dice is at the bottom near the big L. So I had to put the Land Raider there. The Land Raider's got 10 Plague Marines in it, all melee, the 2 characters. So I go first, and I basically mortar some stuff, and I put the Rhino in the middle, and I do teleport, and I'm like, okay, it's over to him. He pushes a squad of bikes up the top flank of the board, poking around the corner of the big L. I overwatch with the Predator Destructor and wipe 3 bikes out. And he's like, oh okay. Like it's flat 3, so each one is dead.
Ooh,
I didn't. They're in half range, so I've got 6 shots, and I roll 3 6s to hit, and I roll 3 2s. Obviously, I need 2s to wound, strength 9, and then everyone is dead. So I was like, good, that's that problem gone. On the bottom corner, he haywires everything into the Land Raider and kills it. So I get out the Plague Marines, get out 3, and I'm now I deployed it right on the line. So I'm now only 7 inches away from his unit. He stopped. He decided to start shooting that unit. He's got only a few bits left, so I Cloud of Flies the Marines, roll some good saves, and he's now got, I think, 7 Plague Marines, all melee, and 2 characters 7 inches away.
So this is a shooting area, is it?
Yeah, so I leave the exactly. So I left the transports alone from shooting. I mortar the and then my turn. I basically pop the back. I just basically start killing everything. It was insane. I killed 7 boats in a turn of shooting with these firing lanes, and then started mortaring the troops. A couple of the troop squads that were hanging around, charging the Plague Marines. The Plague Marines pick up some troops and another boat, and then basically sit on the objective with fight first, and I park the Foul Blight spawn behind the ruin, this side of the wall. So I'm like, he's probably going to kill the Plague Marines, and then the character's going to detach, but he's not going to be able to be shot. And also he's the other side of the wall. So then if you want to come and get him, come this side of the wall, and you've got a million guns pointing at you. So basically, I knew to his army turn 2 pretty much. I'm like, if you come out of cover anywhere, you've got Predator Destructor autocannons, heavy plague bolters, you've got mortars, you've got I'm going to shoot you with las cannons, I don't care. Everything's the other thing to remember is all of my tanks have got havoc launchers, and so I've got when at full strength 5d6 havoc launchers into Harleys.
Yeah, was just like pick them up.
Right. It's no problem. So I basically didn't really have to move out of this deployment of this movement. After pretty much turn 1, I'd killed so much of his stuff that I just controlled the board. I sat getting engaged. I dropped Typhus in once he'd run out of things and scored big teleport 2 turns. I eventually debussed the Plague Marines just to go after his home objective, but he was tabled. I think turn 4 or turn 5, I think it was. But this was the one where I kind of went, all right, I've learned some lessons from the first War Dogs game, but this is a very different kind of army. But it turned out it worked really, really, really well into infantry and into a kind of a fast unit. I just basically set the board up so wherever he went, I could either reverse a tank, advance a tank up and down the back line, skirt it up and down, getting lines of sight. Yeah, I've got anti-infantry shooting, I've got anti-tank shooting. And even if I've got to start shooting anti-tank into smaller stuff, I'm like, no, fine. I've got 48-inch range. I can hit the whole board. Yeah. No matter, if you come out anywhere, you're going to die. And then if you do stay in cover, you're getting mortared. And
lose situation.
It was a bit of like a horrible kind of like hare hunting kind of situation. Once all the boats were gone, and I deliberately targeted all his haywire first. Wiped all that out, and then he couldn't touch me. How many plague? Sorry, I just saw someone in the chat said, "How many plague surgeons did you have?" Did you mean plague surgeons? Because Aiden and I would say never take any. Um, I
Zero.
had I had, if it was Plague Marines, I had a unit of 10 that were in the Land Raider, a unit of 7 that were in the Rhino, Foul Blight Spawn and Biologist Putrefier with the 10, and just a Biologist Putrefier on the right. There isn't really a huge amount more to say on this one than it just got to a point where he just had to kind of hide everything, and I just chased it and developed firing lines and killed it. So it was an 89-69 win. We had a really fun game. Trashball Gaming guys, if anyone's on listening to it or knows them, they're a really fun group, and yeah, it was a really fun game.
Oh, that's good to hear, man. Okay, I'm just quickly. I think I've managed to identify the pictures needed. Please be So that's going to load in real quick. So I had second round. I actually had Chaos Knights with War Dogs, lots of War Dogs. So yeah. I think that's
by the way, Aiden, did you tell everyone that you went in the night before and vandalized Table 7?
Oh, yeah, no, I forgot that. So I was helping set up this event, so I arrived on the Friday night and basically started setting up all the tables. It's quite a long task, but one of the tasks of doing it all, so after we've set down like 400 tables, was obviously putting the numbers on the tables. So I went round with my little marker, and table 7 and 77, I drew a Nurgle symbol on instead. And turns out DeathGuardDave was on table 7, which I didn't even know. So, and then you ended up your last round also on table 7,
On
didn't
Table
you?
7. Yeah.
And Vic VJ, who was doing it, was kind of freaked out by the fact there was a Death Guard symbol on the table, which is quite funny. Right, okay, so that is the right game, but it's a bit twisted, that one. I must have took it sideways. So, right, that's towards the end. Right, yeah, okay. I believe that's towards the end as well, yeah. So this is sort of the start. This is the earliest picture I've got of this one. So I was against Chaos Knights, so I don't really need to pull up the army list. All Chaos Knights kind of the same. 6 Brigands, 4 Carnivores. This guy did have a Rampage, though, so he had 1 big knight. So this was the Killmore mission, I believe, as well, which was actually quite nice for you versus Harlequins, isn't it?
Oh, stop it.
Not as nice for me against Chaos Knights. So this is the hold 1, hold more, kill 1, kill more. And when he's got an army full of vehicles, big scary stuff, kill more can be somewhat irritating. So on this mission, I ended up going with I went fixed again, but this time instead of teleport homers and cleanse, we went for teleport homers and bring it down, because every kill in this is bring it down. So it makes sense. A lot safer than having to take cleanse, because I'm going to have to try and kill them anyway. Especially on a kill 1, kill more mission, I'm having to kill them. So setup was fairly straightforward. So interestingly, I did keep a unit of Nurglings on the board. Bit risky given all the Havoc launchers, but I thought, worst case scenario, I go second, they die, I've lost 35 points. Best case scenario, I go first, and I've got my first teleport homes for free. I don't have to risk anything. So that was the logic there. So, deployed basically as you kind of see here. The only difference is this Rhino was next to this Plagueburst Crawler here. The entire plan was basically put OC on this one point here. That'll be my hold 1. As long as we can keep clearing off the middle, he'll never score hold more. And we're going to use our fixed secondaries to sort of basically just win the game passively that way. So we have our Nurglings in the middle in case we got first turn for homers. We did get first turn, which is quite nice. First move was to get this Rhino behind here with some Plague Marines on the point, which is quite happily did. So at this point, we're basically just mortared, I think, a Brigand, and we did like 4 damage to it. Nothing. Pretty bad. Not much happened that turn, really. Now, what he did do, however, in his first turn, he had one of his Carnivores come and tow onto this objective here, yeah? Now, I had 10 OC on it because I had Plague Marines, and I had a Rhino as well. I think his idea was to use the Havoc launchers to kill the Plague Marines to out-OC it. But that's a much harder task than you actually think it is. So he's basically shot all of his Havocs at it, and I think he killed 1 Plague Marine. And that's it. Because I've always got 3 up armor save. He's hitting at -1. He's wounding me on 4s. 3 up armor save. So this War Dog basically was stood on my point, but I still held the objective. And I only lost one Plague Marine, which I was quite happy with, to kill the Blight Launcher.
Nice.
So my top, I was going first again. So top of turn 2, I was just like, okay, well, neither of us killed anything, so no one's getting kill 1, kill more. So we're actually even on primary. So I was like, okay, let's not go crazy. Let's not overextend this. Let's, because again, a lot of problem we have with Chaos Knights is if we got in the open, 6 Bringers are going to pick you up. So we'll kind of play conservatively. So the Carnivore that was here, because it's the second Carnivore, this one in the picture, I simply moved out with my troops. We shot it, we grenade started it, we dropped it kind of low. I think we dropped it to 4 wounds, and then I stopped shooting it. I didn't want to shoot it at all. Sorry, go on. You there? You still good?
Yeah, we just lost you for a second, but I'm back.
Okay, no worries. So we shot it down to 4 wounds and we left it. We mortared into another brigand somewhere and did some damage to it. Now, he did actually rapid ingress the large knight onto the board where those dice were there, which was quite scary. Okay. So this PBC up here was basically just shooting some entropies at it. I think he got like 4 damage through. We shot a couple mortars, it just basically trying to chip it away. But the main plan was to get this one Carnivore down to like 4 wounds, which we did. Then we charged it into melee. We picked it up in melee, and then because the big knight was over there, I could basically consolidate back towards the closest objective, which is this one, but back through the wall. So he came out, charged on this side of the wall, killed it, consolidated towards the objective, back through the wall, back behind safety. So we've picked up a kill. We've damaged this big one. I think we did like 8 damage to it, which is quite nice. And the pressure's now on him to make something happen because I've got a kill. I'm still holding. I've still scored my secondaries because these Nurglings lived for another turn because all the Havocs went into the Plague Marines. So I've got another teleport homers without having to sacrifice anything. So at this point he decides, okay, I'm going to go for it. So he brings this Carnivore to the middle, a second Carnivore up here. His Rampager comes in. 2 of these Brigands come out to here. And basically, he's trying to just put pressure on me at this point because he has to. The Rampager charges the Rhino, obviously picks it up. It's not hard to do. And this Carnivore comes through and kills the 3, 4, 4 Plague Marines that are remaining here, which that's fair enough. But in this Rhino was my 10-man squad. So the 10-man squad gets out onto the objective, so we still hold it via OC, which is quite nice. Actually, I got quite lucky on that. He didn't manage to block it off enough.
Wow.
So yeah, I got quite lucky. So it's because he couldn't get into the gap there because the Plague Marines are the spike. So they all managed to spill out into this corner here nice and safely. Now, in my turn, obviously, we've got a bit of a problem because now we've got a Rampager on our lines. We've got all these War Dogs coming out. So this is where we decide it's the go turn. So we've got the picture of the go turn. Not that one. I don't think it's that one. Is it the sideways one? Could be. But it's a bit confusing, isn't it? It might not be that one, actually. So there you go. So that's the actual... Yeah, that's right. So basically we decide, okay, let's do some damage now. So 10-man obviously get out, shoot the Carnivore to death with lots of lethal hits. These Players' Calls also help out a little. We managed to kill the big fella in the melee over there. We've got our 2 5-man squads out of this Rhino here. One has charged this Brigand squad here. One did charge one here and kill it. So in this one turn, we managed to kill, I think it was, because he brought everything out. That picture showed wasn't actually all of it. So there was a Carnivore here. There was another Carnivore like here. There was a Carnivore here. A big knight over here. Another Carnivore somewhere. Because if you look at the actual score, if you look at the cheeky turn 3 bring it down score, that's from 3 points to max in one turn.
That's pretty decent.
We obviously rapidly ingressed in some Terminators who came in, and so that was it. So there was a brigand where the Terminators were. They came in and slapped that one. A lot of things got slapped.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, so he does retaliate a bit, but then my other 5-man comes out of this Rhino here, gets in. He's trying to push him with this Carnivore here, but at this point it doesn't really matter. The other Terminator squad's dropped in, basically just taking over the entire board at this point. Another 2 Brigands went down here. This one goes down from this charge. All he's really left with is there's a Blue Scribes on his home objective, I think, and then 1 Brigand and 2 Brigand. The other Terminator unit, because there's only 3 there, is currently in this L, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I mean, don't you find that war dog lists they hit a tipping point, don't they? When
Yeah.
you kill enough of it, and then suddenly it's like it can't play. It's no longer a threat to you because it has to sit on objectives. It has to go backwards. It has to kind of screen or.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, when you're putting this much pressure in the face, this empty Rhino can just do homers for you every turn. Now, at the moment, these Death Shred over here are doing it because why not? At this, get the extra points from deployment. But technically this could be doing it, and because they can't, they've obviously got to shoot all this instead. But yeah, it was a fairly safe game in the end. As you said, 96-64. He's again really safe. Look, you look at the homers 3-3, 4-4-4. Like just win off the primary, drop 2 on primary, bring it down just for free versus Knights at that point. But yeah, overall quite happy with the round 2. So what did you get for your round 3, mate? I'll just quickly put the stream back to the right.
As we know, I built this list for Space Marines, kind of Iron Storm detachment, and I get World Eaters. So I'm like, okay, this one actually could be a problem potentially. So he's got Angron, he's got Khan, he's got Terminators, Berserks, 2 Mauler Fiends, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. I'm like, he's got to run at me and tag me all over the place and get me into combat, and I've got to just kill him before he gets there. It's quite a straightforward approach on both sides.
Oh, just very quickly, just so we can cover it. So I took obviously -1 save versus Custodes. I took -1 save again versus Chaos Knights because when I wanted to get into melee, I didn't want to give them a save. I didn't want to give them a chance to spike 5 up, so drop into a 6 up or none if I spend a CP. What did you take versus your opponents?
So I took -1 save into War Dogs. I took -1 to hit and ballistic skill into Harlequins, which really screwed them up. I round 3 into World Eaters. I took -1. I took -1 ballistic skill, -1 weapon skill. Because I was like, if you do get into combat with me, then I'm going to make you hit bad, and I've got and Predator Destructors are +1 AP into infantry anyway. Like my las cannon's at AP 3. So it doesn't matter. And if I'm shooting Angron, he's got 4 up inbound anyway. Doesn't make a difference. Extra save. My Marines are -2 into them. So I was like, I can live with that. I'm going to make you hit worse. Let's play some proper Death Guard, spreading some contagion and sickness.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I went for. So he.
So he looks like he's got two big bricks of Berserkers.
Yeah.
A 5-man squad Terminators, another 5-man squad Terminators. Okay, Mauler Fiends, interesting. And 2 Rhinos. Okay, no 8-bounder at all.
No, I really like the fact that he went into
so a bit different.
A bit different, and also even with the Mauler Fiends, right? A still wants to get in there.
Yeah.
Not sitting back and shooting. So we had a good game. Like I said, he kind of came out. I dropped a couple of pictures into Discord as well for you there, which I think you'll just enjoy, because we're going to play a game with the viewers called Spot the Difference.
Okay, let me get this
between picture 1 and picture 2. So basically, what happened was he did exactly what he was going to try and do.
I don't think they've come through on the Discord just yet.
Yeah, let me just check. I did actually click send and didn't just.
It's this Discordception everyone's got now. It's like, whoa. Also, here's a quick picture from his first game. Again, what it looks like to have this much armor on a battlefield. So much armor.
It was good. So yeah, he basically I think I got first turn. I was once again playing. I think I played homers and. Did I play my secondary? I'll come to me in a minute. But regardless, he basically sets up quite aggressively, and then I basically just start shooting stuff out, start taking it down. I deliberately placed the Land Raider quite aggressively forward to draw Angron.
Were you hoping Angron took the bait?
Yeah. I'm basically like Angron, come and attack this. I've as always, I've very clearly explained what's in what and everything. But he's obviously Angron's on the board. He's a big monster. He's gonna take this out. Angron hits the Land Raider. Khan. I also block off one of the routes between buildings with a PBC. And I've got another rhino sat behind another wall, just behind either the Land Raider or the PPC. So Khan goes into the PPC. The Angron goes into the Land Raider. A Mauler Fiend also goes into the Land Raider. He pops it, unsurprisingly. So I basically then get out.
Well, so this is corners as well, wasn't it? It's a 6 objectives. So so he could get very aggressive actually into you, couldn't he?
Yeah, so he could. So I knew it was going to happen. So I'm like, well, I'll give you the Land Raider. You can pop that, and then basically what's going to get out is going to kill you.
Yeah.
So he's now got 17 Plague Marines into Angron and the Mauler Fiend. So I basically, he blows up the Land Raider. They all get out staged for next turn. Khan goes into the PPC, which I overwatch his Khan and his berserkers and like whittle them down to like, I think it's just Khan and 2 left. He takes it down to 3 wounds because Khan goes apeshit as he always does. So all I do is I fall back the Plague Burst Crawler and then shoot Khan's unit off the table. Then Angron gets double grenaded, charged by 10 Plague Marines. Some I split them up enough to go into them and the Mauler Fiend. The other 7 go into the Mauler Fiend. They pick up Angron and the Mauler Fiend. Khan's dead. The first lot of berserkers is dead. A Rhino's been blown up. The berserkers in that get out. They get annihilated by the other destructor. He didn't really have anything left pretty much after that happened.
Yeah, but I say those Plague Heavy Bolters were ripping apart berserkers.
They were ripping the Plague Heavy Bolters and the autocannon was just killing. Like, we're just killing everything.
He only got 47 points, didn't he? Ooh.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad mauling of it. It was like exactly what you'd imagine in that kind of situation, right? Like a load of howling, crazy world eaters charging across the table
into a tank gun,
and then all of these guns just going pointing at them. He actually the other thing he did is I deliberately left I stickied my home. I moved away from the that corner, and he dropped a unit of 5 Terminators in.
Yeah.
But they were in, but they basically had 9-inch charge, and they failed a charge out deep strike. So then he's just got 5 Terminators sat in the open. Which, as I said,
funnily enough, do you know how many wounds Terminators are?
3, aren't they?
Yeah. Do you know what's the damage of a Predator Destructor?
I think it's flat 3, isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. and I think Plague Heavy Bolters are sustained 1 and lethal.
Oh man, great.
Yeah. And I think so basically he drops them in, they don't go anywhere, they get absolutely annihilated as well. And he's just got a Lord sat on his home objective, basically by about turn 3 or 4.
Oof.
And then I just mortar that off.
Bye.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, it was a nice game, but it's a shame you can't see the pictures. It's basically the spot the difference is Angron, a Mauler Fiend, and Khan's group into my line. And then the next picture is a ring of Plague Marines with a hole in the middle where Angron was, and then a missing load of red units on the table. So yeah, it was a pretty big win, that one. So we are, we've gone into War Dogs and with this list that's not been at a GT, played a good player, had a whiffy turn, lost around there. Turned out it can absolutely annihilate fast moving, quick Eldari. It also turns out it can annihilate fast-charging world eaters with Demon Primarchs as well. So It was a nice move, 93-47 win.
Very nice, very nice. Just a quick in chat. Hi Matt, how are you doing? Matt's in the chat. That's the fellow you played the next round, actually.
Matt, what a great game we had.
What gear do you like to bring with a Hellbrew? I'm leaning towards the hammer and twin autocannon, but I don't see them get used much, so it's hard to go with people's experience. So I'm actually with Dylan, who commented after it. I like Fist, Bolter, and Plasma Cannon. It's got a good amount of shots that it can actually get the hit and get the ability off. But I like having the melee weapon for tank shock. The hammer's okay. I like the hammer as well. I just hate the weapon skill 4 on it. That's my main issue. As I said before, weapon skill 4 is very swingy. I just like the Fist. It's not as high damage, potentially not as high strength, but it's just more consistent. What do you take on your Hellbrute, mate?
Las Cannon, missile launcher all day long.
You're full range, aren't you?
It's because even if I'm not running this stupid Death Guard Armored Division list, it's I want the reach to hit that target on the other side of the table and make it -1 save, or make it -1 ballistic skill guaranteed. And they've both got the range. And if you do get the damage through, you can do some serious hurt. I popped I popped a war dog with the las cannon and the crack missile launcher when I was just trying to tag it.
Nice.
So I like it for that, and also you still get on the charge, you still get the mortal wounds. So,
yeah, true. You still get the mortal wounds.
I mean, you can do a few nice tricks with them.
So round 3, I was against Will Whittaker, who actually ended up taking out the entire event, finishing 7-0.
Yeah,
so well played to Will. This is horrible. I genuinely think after this game, this is the best list in the entire game.
Let's see what you've got.
It is ACDC. So people that don't know, right. ACDC stands for Accursed Cultist Dark Commune. This unit needs a goddamn nerf.
Unit needs to be banned.
CSM is very, very strange. I think they are a little broken. I think how they work and their mechanics are a little daft. And a 1 command point reroll all hits and wounds stratagem is pretty busted, it seems. Especially when you have stuff like exploding 5s. It's a bit daft. But basically, the core concept of how it works is you have 3 Chaos Lords with undivided marks, so that lets them do the strat for free. So you get free strat to reroll all hits and wounds. They join a squad of Chosen, who give the Chaos Lord advance and charge, fall back and charge. And then he gives them the free strat to reroll all hits and wounds.
And he's got a nice once a game ability, hasn't he?
He does. Once per game, he gets to basically go super crazy mode, and he gets +1 strength, +1 attack, +1 AP, and +1 damage, and dev wounds. Yeah. And again, all of this
is like rerolling.
Yeah, and it's rerolling everything with exploding 6s. So you can imagine this gets out of hand pretty quickly. So there's 3 of those squads, all in a Rhino each. The Rhinos are a mark of Nurgle, which means if you go to shoot the Rhino for 1 command point, you can loan up it so you can't shoot it, so you can't pop the Rhinos. The same with the Forge Fiends. He has 1 with Nurgle, which starts on the board, so you can't shoot it. He has 1 Undivided, that comes in from reserves, and then when it comes in, it gets full rerolls to hit and wound. And again, that thing has dev wounds with 3d3 shots plus blast, exploding.
And you just charge it every time.
Yeah, exploding on 6s with dev wounds at flat 3 damage, strength 10, AP 3.
Goodbye.
So, and then you have these awful, awful units, the Dark Commune and the Accursed Cultists. So, the Accursed Cultists are what Poxwalkers wish they were. It's like a weird hybrid of Poxwalkers and Chaos Spawn. So, basically the way it works is it's a mixed unit of a couple of big guys who are like toughness 6 with d6 plus 4 attacks or something like that, damage 2 each. And they're 3 wounds each, and a lot of little guys who are 1 wound each. And they all have a feel no pain. And then they're joined by the Dark Commune, and the Dark Commune gives the squad a 5-up invulnerable. So they have a 5-up invulnerable plus feel no pain, annoying. And the Dark Commune also gives them the ability for once per game, they can advance and charge, and they get +1 to hit and wound. Now, remember they have the mark, so they can also get full rerolls to hit and wound. So they can have advance and charge, +1 to hit and wound with full rerolls, exploding 5s or exploding 6s or lethal 6s, whatever they want. It gets wild real quick. And unfortunately, we're playing on the mission with 6 objectives, and these units are massive and they can string out over multiple of them. So, I've never played against this list before. It was a bit grim. I think I only have like the 1 picture of it, which you don't want to see. It was pretty grim. Let's try and find it. Yeah, I'll show it. It's important to see. And I have a perfect example of why this unit might be a bit busted. Hopefully you can see this, guys. Okay, so
I've played into this list as well, and it's not this
so
event, but it's so horrible.
I ended up actually taking -1 OC in leadership, because they're OC 2 as well, the Accursed Cultists, and they're all invuln, so there's no point taking AP, and there's no point taking -1 weapon skill because on the turn they go for it, they're +1 to hit and wound with full rerolls and exploding 6s. Like they don't care like at all about what you do to them. So -1 OC actually was pretty good because it meant I kept managing to flip the objectives with Plague Greens. Now you see this unit here, this 10-man squad. This is a 10-man squad with a Foul Blight spawn, a Ballast Putrefier, on an infected objective marker, which means I can use the strat for sustain 2. Yeah, this unit charged them. I'm thinking, good golly gosh, you sir, you are a crazy man. You are wild. So I do the thing. I swing. I do the explodes. All the cute stuff. And I managed to kill the cultist squad down to 3 of the torments, 3 of the big guys. So I killed 10 of the little guys, 2 of the little sword guys, and 2 of the torments.
Right.
And then the 3 torments with their +1 to hit and wound, 4 rerolls, exploded 6s, wipe out my entire unit.
Yep. Say about
that. So 3 equivalent of chaos spawn, wipe out my entire unit. Yeah. Cool. Very cool.
It's one of those moments, isn't it, where you're like, okay, fun. So that just happened, did it?
Yeah.
I guess I'll pick all my stuff up.
And then bear in mind, so the thing with Chaos Space Marines is they deal way too much damage. Like everything is absolutely lethal.
Everything deals too much damage.
So the Cursed Cultists can kill anything. I had a lot of Contagion and 3 Death Shroud get charged by them. They got wiped out in one activation, and I swung first. I sprayed them, charged them, again chopped them down, left 3 of the big guys. They wiped all my Death Shroud out. I'm a lot of Contagion in 1. So what I was trying to do basically is I was trying to keep it. Say I always got like 1 guy on the objective. I put 1 Plague Marine on. I'm OC2. He's OC1. Denying it. Doing a cleanse across both objectives with that squad. Basically just trying to play for points. He took Assassination. Now, because I wasn't aware of how tanky the units are as well, 5 up Invuln and 6 up Feel No Pain. And the main problem is that doesn't sound that bad. But the problem is because of how the unit works, they have 3 wound models and 1 wound models, which means if you go into that unit, let's say with your Lord of Contagion, with a nice big flat 3 damage weapon, good for killing those 3 wound guys, he can just allocate the wounds to the 1 wound model. But then, when you swing with 1 damage weapons, like if you wanted to sweep with a scythe, he'll just allocate that to the 3 wound models. And these resurrect every turn, by the way. In both players' turns, he gets either 3... Yeah, he gets 3 1 wound guys back or 1 3 wound guy back in both players' turns. So, if you don't wipe them in 1, they just keep growing back. And they hit absurdly hard. They're way tougher than you think to kill. And they're also OC2. Now, thankfully, I was having them at OC1. But it's pretty busted. And there is, There is 3 units of them. And there's 16 in each unit. And then the characters. So, I was like, okay, I'm going to try and just, I've got the damage output, hopefully, to clean through it. But then when he started doing the allocation, I realised very quickly I don't. So I actually kept my characters in my squads. He took Assassinate. I wish I didn't keep them in the squad and I just put them in a round in the back corner, which I've said I've done before. But I was under the impression that, a unit that's kind of like a Poxwalker defensively probably should die to that amount of output. But they just don't because, again, you swing all your knives in. They've got 6 models with 3 wounds each to absorb all 1 damage attacks. You swing your big hits in. They've got... They've got like how many small ones? Is it 8 plus 16? So it's actually 20.
And also, like you're hitting 4, so you're dropping some, and then there's so many models that even if they're going through, you're still not picking up enough.
Yeah, it was grim. So basically, I tried to have my go turn, slam into him. Really didn't understand how tough these things were to kill. I bounced, and then he wiped out. This 10-man squad got wiped, which means this flank just collapsed. My Death Shroud, that Rapid Ingress over here, collapsed, which means all this collapsed. By the end of it, he didn't even have to use the Chosen at all. The Chosen never made combat. They didn't have to. I just got ran over by 3 squads of Accursed Cultists, and I couldn't kill them for the life of me. If I did it again, probably put both Death Shroud in reserves, just try and drop down Flamer at both at 1 squad, then charge at a big squad. But even that only kills 1 unit, and I've got 2 others to deal with, plus all the Chosen. Plus another Forge Fiend that, again, can never shoot this Forge Fiend because it's always lone opt. And then 1 pops up wherever it needs to shoot with full rerolls. It's a disgusting list. Played by a good player, don't get me wrong. He's a good player. He did very well with it. But when it's
one thing I will say about it is there's a lot of moving parts to this CSM setup.
Yes.
And the same with Vic. So you do have to know what you're doing with it as well. But it is horrifically damaging.
When you know how to do it, this is one of the few games I've had where I genuinely felt like I didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
Like, even if I was like, okay, what if I focus fired 1 down? Oh yeah, but then the Chosen just come wipe this unit or wipe that unit, and I've still got 2 other squads. The Forge Fiends it's every part of this list is just far too lethal. Like we have rhinos that aren't lethal. We have things that aren't as scary. Like 5 Plague Marine squads. They can hit pretty hard, but they're not scary to everything.
No, they're not. No.
Everything here is scary to everything. The Chaos Lords can solo a Plague Blast Crawler easily. The Forge Fiends can pick up anything they look at. Just for dead, they get lucky and get a couple dev wounds. It's flat 3 damage with dev wounds. With full rerolls.
Yep.
They can pick up most things. But yeah, it is what it is. It was, unfortunately, I think I managed, I don't think I got the score here because I stopped recording it halfway through because I was like, yeah, this is over. I think I managed to get, I still managed to get 67 points out of it.
That's good.
Which I'm quite happy with. Again, I just started looking at it as if it was teams format, so it's not a horrendous loss that.
You play some of this though where you're like, there's not, you look at it and you're like, I can't actually do anything about this. And that's not down to, that's the way it goes sometimes.
And the thing is, even if he took Assassinate, which he did, and even if I put all my characters hidden all game, he still got 78 to 67.
Yeah.
So it still would have lost anyway with the characters being hidden. But hey ho, it happens. And again, if we're going to lose to anyone, probably the guy that probably goes and takes out the entire event.
Mate, that's the best way to lose.
Exactly. So we both went back out to our own places. I went back to the hotel with my guys. I don't know if you went on the night out or whatever. But we're all sat there waiting for our pairings, and then it turns out you got my friend who was literally sat right next to me because he was like, I've got DeathGuard tomorrow. I was like, I was like, who have you got? He's like, David Turner. I was like, no way. I got DeathGuardDave. So you got another go at the old Chaos Night round.
Did. Yeah, and I did. One, like I said, played your mate Matt, who was we had a really good game, and also it was what was made it good about this kind of game was we had like an occasion where we were discussing a ruling, and it was a really good positive discussion about how that rule interaction worked, and we were both like, hey, we both kind of agree, we think this is the way it works. And so we grabbed a ref, like whilst we were still carrying on, one of us was still doing something. Guy came over and he was like, yep, you guys are great, that's totally cool. So one of the things we talked about in that instance, and for anyone who's thinking about going to a tournament as well, is even if you have a disagreement about an interaction or something, right, it isn't a conflict. You can talk about it in a completely amicable way, and actually you're both learning, right, from this. There's so many rules in this game. I always say to my wife when she's like, what it's like playing it, I'm like, imagine chess but with like 2,000 pieces, and each piece has got different rules.
Yeah, true.
And it's like, and so that's
that was on the bright side, as we'll get into. I definitely learnt something in my round 4 as well, didn't I?
I'll let you talk about that one in a minute.
Yeah,
so we played back into War Dogs, into Matt, great player. And
so Matt is normally an Imperial Knight player, but given the current state of Imperial Knights, he's swapped over to Chaos Knights for a bit, which I can't really blame him. He has tried to make his Imperial Knights work, and he's just, the thing is, it's not a case of they're not doing well for him. He can still do pretty well, but he's just not having fun with the army. And
that's exactly what he said to me. Yeah,
I wasn't enjoying it. That's the main bit. If you're not enjoying an army, that's when it's time to maybe look at something else for a bit. If it's just, this army's win rate isn't the greatest, that's not really like a great reason to jump off. If that's what you're after, that's what you're after. But if you're genuinely just not having fun playing it, probably take a break or try something else out, which Matt has done, and he's enjoying his Chaos Knights a lot more. So take it away, sir.
Yeah, I mean, what we got here, so we got 5 carnivals this time, I think.
Yeah, 6 brigs,
and then 6 brigands and a stalker.
Yeah,
so
2 Nurglings.
Similar list. This time we're on a slightly longer edge. We're further away from each other, and I think this was unfortunately for Matt a pretty bad pair up on this map, because there's good firing lanes. I'm outranging him by almost twice as much with most of my guns.
Yeah,
and my guns are designed to kill vehicles, and I've already played this list once and got some learnings from it. So I set up, I put a couple of pictures into the Discord. So I basically set up to shoot. You can also get loads of cover on this setup.
I want to see these pictures.
I don't know. Oh, it doesn't matter, mate. I don't know why it's not. Oh, hang on a minute. Try that. So you can get good, so you can get good cover on this map as well. So actually, you'll see that the first picture is where I basically have got on the one on the left. Go to the next one. That was in. Yeah. So basically, I got turn 1. So I basically push out the Land Raider, which has got 10 in it, 10 Marines in it. I've scout moved some cultists out, moved them onto the point. I've then touched the Land Raider on. So I'm now like, if you want to shoot the Land Raider, then you're going to have to put something out in the open.
Yeah.
And if you put something out in the open, I'm going to smoke the Land Raider, and then I'm going to shoot you back with like 10 las cannons. And if you put out multiple things, I've got, as you can see at the bottom, I've got I've got a destructor. I've got both the destructors at the top. I've got 4 las cannons on the Land Raider. I've got a Hellbrute just poking around the corner as well to give an extra shot on to put -1 damage out.
Also, just so people say, just note how Dave is still making sure he's got cover on all these predators. Back corner, front, back.
So even the Hellbrute's just poking out. Everyone's got line of sight. I've got shots kind of onto 3 different lanes. I've chucked the Rhino into the middle. I've also got some Nurglings there, so they're both there. So if he comes into the Rhino's just off the wall, but if he comes all the way around, they're just there to screen the other side of it, so the dog can't get into base to base with it. I've got 10 OC on the point on the left, and then I've got 10 more Plague Marines ready to jump out onto that point as well.
Nice.
I'm holding my home. That's sticky now. I'm now set up to go. It's on you, Matt. You've got to come out to me.
So this is priority targets as well. So this is the one where you get bonus points for holding more at the end of the game. So
exactly.
It's important Dave does make something happen early-ish.
Yeah, so I've got to get out there and make him come to me. I can't have it go the other way around. But equally, I'm then staging to go at the end of the game. I'm just going to roll on to another couple of points or one more point, and I've got all my points. So what basically happens is Matt has to just start coming out into me. I don't care if he's sitting on like his natural and his home. I'm like, you've got to get on the middle because I'm on it.
Yeah.
And I'm scoring on it. So if you don't come here, I'm going to outscore you, and then I'm going to just swamp the middle of the board with so much stuff that you can't kill it, and then I'll outscore you on it.
You playing fixed again, by the way?
Yeah, I played fixed the whole event.
Which one are you going?
I played homers and bring it down.
Yeah, same.
So what basically happens here is this is turn 3. Matt's decided he's got to go. Oh, by the way, you're going to love this. If you can see just under Matt's leaning arm on the bottom edge of the board, I basically turn 3. I've got to bring in another unit of Nurglings, so I drop them against the wall on my home objective.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Okay, so Matt then rapid ingresses his brigand on the bottom edge, thinking I'm going to sneak it round the corner and start shooting your vehicles. So I roll a 12 on a charge with the Nurglings and wrap the war dog against the board edge. And basically, so I was like, that was a really good move, but like I need a 9 here to like mess up your plans. And instead of just getting to tag it, I actually pin it against the board for the rest of the game.
Nice.
So I'm like, I can now ignore that dog and just worry about the other stuff. I dropped Typhus in on his home object behind the L on his side of the board to score homers. The Land Raider basically it just ends up. If you could kind of see from what happens next is the Land Raiders moved. The Plague Marines have disembarked already, so they're sat behind that wall. There was a carnivore behind that wall which has been dead. I then bring out the tanks to create 3 lanes of fire across the board, so I can now prioritize my targets and go, I need to kill that, then that, then that, and if that dies, then I'm going to put the rest of the fire over there. And Matt did the right thing at this point. He, as he'll tell you, he was like, I've now got to commit everything I've got left to try and get at you. So he brings underneath his armor 2 carnivores. Yeah. He's pushed all the brigands up the top. He's rapid ingressed on it. So I bought one in from reserves. He's got one on an objective at the back end of the board, and he's got something sat on his home. So he comes out and tries to throw kind of everything at me. I tank all the saves. I smoke the Land Raider again to keep those 4 las cannons there, and then my return fire just obliterates his army. And I think before he kind of didn't have anything left. But it was he did the right thing in going, if I keep playing the game that you want me to play out of range, you're just going to pick up everything turn by turn and kill me by 1,000 cuts, and I can't now get you off the middle unless I totally commit.
Because the thing is, if his go turn went like, if these saves fail, like you've done it still well, so it's like he's not going to be able to get a charge in really. But
no, and even if what he could have got a charge onto, right, was if he charges the Rhino in the middle, then the Plague Marines get out. If he charges the Predator and kills that, well, he gets shot by another 2 Predators.
Yeah, you can just see him waiting back in.
Yeah, I'm just basically sat here going, even if this turn goes well, I think my clapback is going to be enough to just neuter it. Yeah. After that, but you're going to score more. But unfortunately, it just didn't like the Matt just I made saves. He like
And
had a bit of
I
a,
shut down that brigand there as well.
yeah. So that was that's kind of it's kind of what happened with it. I shut down that brigand there. The carnival that was behind the wall here had died because the plague marines had gone out, killed it, and then like you did, I consolidated back onto the point. And also because I was on the point, and this is what we were laughing about, because you say the plague marine's ability for +1 to leadership test on an objective never comes up. Well, I just kept one towed onto it, and then the +1 actually saved me from failing battle shock against his knights.
Nice.
So it was as I said, a bit of me learning my lessons from the first round, and also just it was a difficult round for Matt. It was like long. You can see there's fire lanes the entire length of the board.
Yeah.
So what I needed to do was deploy well and set myself up for success. I had to just sit there, get on the middle, make him come out, and then use my fire lanes. New to his range of 24 inches on his thermal spears, I could tank the assault cannons no problem, and then just hit back. I mean, one of his war dogs got shot by the Predator Destructor, and I got all of the hits through, all of the wounds through on 6 of them. And he failed 4 of the saves, and it was 12 damage and killed it.
Oh, yeah, bang, gone.
And that's just with one Predator Destructor designed to kill infantry.
Yeah.
So then I had all the guns, all the las cannons on the Land Raider that you can see there, suddenly went the other direction.
Yeah, because they don't need to move.
So nice. that's where sequencing is so important.
Yes.
Is I was like, I'm going to use the stuff that might do it, and if it does, I'm freeing myself up to do this next. So it was just lucky that happened in that instance. But that was our game. We had a great game, really enjoyable. Talked our turns through as we were playing, like I think good players do. And I think it was 96-58.
Very nice, very nice. Question for you in the chat: did you have any trouble throughout the tournament moving the Land Raider?
I don't know if I've heard earlier, Nazca. There's a couple of places on a couple of the maps where there's only one place to put the Land Raider. I did consider reserving it, but as a delivery mechanism for 10 Plague Marines and keeping them safe, it was a really good idea to keep on the board. Plus, if I went first, I've got 4 48-inch las cannon shots. I've then got 36-inch Plague Bolter shots that have got sustained 1 and lethal. I've got a Havoc launcher and I've got a combi weapon on it. And it's T12, right? So it's tanking. It can tank quite a bit, especially if you smoke it and you tow it behind cover to get cover. So yes, the answer is I did have trouble in a couple of places because there was only one place to put it, but I still actually quite rated having it on the table.
Nice. So quite strangely, as that was your round 1 into your round 4, so your loss was your round 4. I also had my loss faction in my round 4 because I had Chaos Space Marines. And as you can see, when I opened this pairing up and I saw Triple Chaos Lord, my head hit the table pretty hard. I was like, here we go again. However, thankfully, this fella hasn't gone out and bought all the Accursed Cultists. So instead, we have a Cultist mob. So this is like the last version of CSN list. Yeah, no worries. So we had 10 Cultists, 2 units of Legionnaires with Max and Escher that could advance and charge, triple Rhino, the triple Chosen squads as usual, double Forge Fiend, same again, 1 divided 1 Nurgle. A Noise Marine squad, which is interesting. 2 units of Obliterators, a unit of Warp Talons, Nurglings, and the Blue Scribes. So I'm already a bit like, we'll see how it goes. But I knew a bit better this game. Managed to take the -1 save contagion, because actually a bit more impactful in this game, because he doesn't have all the invulnerables on the Accursed Cultists, which is quite nice. I do have a little picture of this one, I think. I'll quickly find the picture. Which one was it? It was not them. I'll upload it. Give me a second, everybody, to upload this picture. Which one are you? That one, it's Snowyboard. Snowyboard. And then it's, there we go, Snowyboard. Okay. So, just let them upload really quickly. So, there we go. Yeah. So, I was against Chosen bricks again in the Rhinos and the 2 units of Obliterators, which is quite scary, but no Accursed Cultists, which is quite nice actually.
Obliterators are scary.
Obliterators are mega scary. So this actually got a picture of deployment. Look at me. I'm actually learning a bit. Feeling a bit better today. Again, just you have a bit of a sleep, you get over it a bit and whatnot. So this was an interesting one. This was again a priority target, so end game scrum was really going to matter. He had second turn, so I needed to make something happen just like Dave did. I actually went pretty risky here, so I decided I'm going to deploy. So after he dropped his Forge Fiend, which is behind this L, I was like, okay, I'm going to take some risk on my deployment because I felt like if I wasn't risky enough, I was going to lose board presence, and then he just sets up a Rhino here, and I'm locked out the game. Because if I try and take anything, he's just going to come and kill me. So I deploy this. I deploy like this. This thing is in the open as you can get. Again, they only shoot into the Forge Fiend, so it can come out and shoot it. But I was like, okay, he'll have a 4-up save versus it. He's got quite a decent amount of wounds. He doesn't really want to shoot a Plague Burst Crawler either. I have a Rhino between these two buildings in the open again, which you would more likely want to shoot. So I give him the choice, like, pop a transport or get a more high-value target. Thankfully, I got first turn. We took Cleanse and Teleport Homers again. So Nurgling's in the centre, doing our Teleport Homers. And the idea was straight away, we're going to put a Rhino into the middle. We want to try and, this will kind of come up, get a unit in here to hold this down, and basically just try and score our secondary. So Rhino's going to drive up, drop guys out the other side of the wall, because you can disembark free, do a cleanse, do another cleanse. We're going to try and score early, because when the Chosen start coming out, I'm going to have to start killing them really hard. So we do that, and then, so that's after my first turn. As you can see, Rhino's in there. We've got a single Plague Marine on the other side of this wall. The Nurglings are not on top. It's just a reminder to my opponent that they're there. And this actually does make him get quite aggressive. So he actually goes for a charge into this with his Chaos Lord and his Chosen Squad. He does kill the Plague Marines. He does kill the Nurglings, but he doesn't kill the Rhino, which has still got 5 guys inside it. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, Rhino has big guns never tire, so that can do Teleport Homers. Just stay in combat and do Teleport Homers. And the Plague Marine squad can disembark, move around, and then they have a choice to either cleanse or, charge in and do some killing. I think I ended up choosing just to try and kill them off because I didn't want my round to get bopped in combat and then blow up and fail the cleanse. To fail the Teleport Homers.
Yeah.
But at this point, basically, we're just trying to put pressure on him to make something happen. His 10 cultists were at the back here, and the first thing I did in my first shooting phase was like, okay, I'm going to shoot this Nurgle Rhino. Do you want a lone up it? He was like, yeah, I'll lone up it. I was like, okay, all 3 of them are shooting the cultists. I was like, just get him gone. Get him out of there. Don't want sticky. So he didn't actually manage to get him on the objective for one command phase, so no sticky, which was quite cool. Which is quite nice to have. But yeah, basically, we're just setting up. We know it's going to get messy real quick. But this is the game where basically our luck would change dramatically. So turn 2, he's into turn 3 even, he was doing a lot of damage to us. He brings in his Forge Fiend up in this corner from Rapid Ingress, shoots off 5 Plague Marines. The Forge Fiend came out on this left here, and I got aggressive. I disembarked my Rhino to go and charge it from this corner. He overwatched it and killed 6 Plague Marines on Overwatch, because again, full rerolls and exploding 6s is fun. So it's looking pretty grim. The Rhino in the middle, 5 Legionnaires get out and make a charge onto... Well, they get out to this point here, and they go to make a charge onto my objective, which has just been cleared of Plague Marines. So I only have a Rhino on it. So I've got 2 OC on it, yeah? So the Biological Putrefy, so I have 3 OC on it. So what I actually do is, when these Marines come out here, and they're alive, I Rapid Ingress in, 3 Death Shroud, and I still had a CP to Overwatch.
Nice.
So I actually overwatched them and killed all but 1. So he actually didn't manage to take the objective, which is quite nice. His Blitz came in. They killed the rest of the 10-man squad that was over here. Might have a better picture. Yeah. So there was a 10-man squad that came out. They did charge the Forge Fiend, and they did manage to pick it up with the couple of guys they had left. The Obliterators came in, then they killed them. They killed Typhus on Overwatch, which was very annoying. Again, full reels and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I basically said I have to have a go turn. So this is kind of like the reaction after my go turn. So there's the 1 Legionnaire that'll survive, plus a Rhino. But the Rhino's not on the point, thankfully, just the Legionnaire. So I decided, okay, I've got to go for it. So what actually happened is this Sorcerer and Death Shroud unit was actually trailed back, so the Sorcerer could see the Forge Fiend, and the Death Shroud were trailing forward. The Overlord of Contagion Death Shroud dropped up here, where the 10-man died, with a 9-inch charge onto both the Obliterator squads. My Rhino that was in combat, this is my second Rhino, was in combat with Chosen and 2 Obliterators. I could have stayed and done Teleport Homers or Cleanse, but I was like, okay, no, this is the turn I need to kill stuff, screw secondaries, because if I don't kill stuff, he then kills me, and then I never score again. So I just
not scoring anything,
Exactly, so I'll just fall it back. So I've got the Sprayers from the Death Shroud coming into the Chosen in the centre. This 1 Biological Putrefy pops round, might as well use his free grenade strap, might as well. So he chucks a grenade in. Another squad of Plague Marines gets out. They're ready to shoot and charge. This Plague Scroll just gets aggressive. Now this Plague Scroll actually getting aggressive here is basically he moves up because I want to Boil Blight this unit of Noise Marines here. Because what my plan was is if I kill them, then basically next turn, if because he's chosen, are going to want to go and clear the middle, which means he'll have 2 Rhinos on this point, empty. Which means if my Plague Scroll drives in and just charges, I can test it.
Yep.
Because I'm 4 overseeing their 2 each. So I deny that off him. And it basically kind of goes how I need it to go this turn. So the Terminator Sorcerer fires his supercharged spell off, manages to pick up the Forge Fiend, which is really nice.
Lovely.
I did get a little bit of a help from this guy and this guy's machine guns, just us chipping away. This is the Plague Spitter one. He was sat on my home objective. My opponent did deep strike him Warp Towns within 9, but I let him know I wasn't going to be that guy. I was like, he has flames, by the way. And he was like, oh, okay. And he put him here instead.
I'll sell him.
Yeah. But those guys, I then, in this turn, I think this guy just shot them with his mortar and killed all the Warp Talons because they're on site. I was like, oh, okay. Fair enough. The Rhino eventually killed this guy because he's got AP1 in combat and it's strength 6, the Rhino. So I was like, okay, I'm moving you on 2 as AP1. So this one Legionnaire eventually fell over, which is quite cute. But we managed to make the 9-inch charge, which was the biggest thing. And these Lord of Contagion and these Death Shroud ate the Obliterators, all of them.
Yeah.
Which was really big. So he's gone from this turn having 4 Obliterators in the middle, a unit of Chosen with a Chaos Lord, and a Forge Fiend over here, to having no Forge Fiend, no Chosen, no Obliterators. So all he's got left after this turn is another 5 Chosen and Lord, with 5 Legionaries, 5 Noise Marines, 2 and triple Rhino, and 1 guy.
Yep.
These Warp Lands all die. The Nurglings are just Nurglings. They're just going to, exist.
Yeah.
I do pick my next turn with the Mortars just in case they get secondary. So
definitely.
The Chosen come out this Rhino, clear all these Plague Marines. Now he does have to make a choice because basically I said to him, because I learnt this the previous night in the hotel, if you can consolidate and you have the choice between going an objective or a base an opponent, you have to base an opponent. It's not a choice. Yeah. You have to.
And if you can't, then, and if you can get onto the objective, then you can consolidate towards it.
Yeah. So this Chaos Lord actually wanted to charge my Plague Scroll and the Chosen into the Plague Marines, but I said to him, basically, if your Chaos Lord whiffs, you don't get onto that objective because you will have to then consolidate into the Plague Scroller. At which point he didn't want to do that, so I let him take it back, the charge back, and instead he just charged the right side of the Plague Marines, so not within 3 inches of this thing, so then he's free to consolidate on. He does take that, but then in my turn he's got these Death Shroud here, then spray and charge. These Death Shroud here, originally the Noise Marines were behind this L, and they wanted to come out and help the centre, and as soon as he put them there, I was like, I'll overwatch that if you do that. So we had to then move them all the way back here. This is the thing where I was like before with Death Shroud, I'm like, sometimes I feel like they do nothing, but sometimes they just, like right now, these Death Shroud units, they're controlling all this area. These guys are controlling the centre so hard, and it's just nightmarish for them to approach me. So basically what happens is, what happens, these Plague Marines all die, he does take the objective off me, but it's okay, because it's still, I'm still holding 2, which is quite nice. The Death Shroud and the Sorcerer Lord then kill the Chosen and Chaos Lord with a bit of help from the, the friendly grenades from this guy and whatnot. This Plague Scroll does get the charge. I could technically Entropy Cannon this Rhino at point blank range because it'd be AP4 as well. But I don't shoot it because, again, if I kill it, the 5 Legionnaires get out and then that's OC. So we just leave that alone. We just charge the Rhino so we hold this contested. And then the Terminators go and take a nice jolly stroll onto his back objective over here. So one thing I will say is, as much as CSM hit really hard, they do die quite quick. And because he didn't have the Accursed Cultists, which don't die quick, when the damage started getting applied to him, when the damage did get applied to him, like I got into the Obliterators, I got into the Chosen, they do die. The Accursed Cultists are just like obscenely tanky for no reason. And that's kind of what makes the other list way more powerful. But it was a cracking close game, and honestly, with proper swings and roundabouts. And the score didn't really do it justice because obviously priority targets. But like every turn up until turn 4, like for turn 5, we were like within 3 points of each other.
That's pretty cool.
It was wild. You can even see, look, it's just that last turn I got 15 extra primary.
Yeah, and also like you said, what's really nice about a game like that is you both basically kind of went for it. It was in a stage where where he was set up, you were like, shit, it's looking terrible. I'm gonna get, it's all over. You then get all your plays unpack. You swing it back the other way, and then it's kind of that's what makes a 40k game good, I think.
Yeah, exactly. It's the proper back and forth. I did learn a thing about cover though. I had it in my head that if you have a wall, like a wall, and you have a guy in front of the wall, so like say you have a wall here, and you have a Terminator here, you have a Terminator behind, and you got shot at from this side. I thought this guy wouldn't get cover, but this guy would. But no, it turns out that apparently if one infantry model is even remotely covered, even all the guys in the open get cover.
If you can't see the whole unit, you get cover.
Yeah, which I knew was the case for vehicles. I didn't know it applied to infantry models in the entire unit. So I have been denying myself a lot of cover saves.
We were killing ourselves laughing about that. We're like
so annoyed at myself.
We're like he goes 5-0 without knowing how to play cover.
Dumbass, actual dumbass from stuck in last edition mindset.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my round 4. So my round 5 is going to be very quick, so I'm just going to go through it very quickly.
My round 5 is going to be super quick.
Oh, is it? Okay, so we've got 2. Okay, I'll just really quickly. So round 5 for me, I actually went against Josh Rott's brother. And basically, the way this went is he didn't have a list really that pairs well into me. He's got monsters, nids, and then a lot of solo stuff like biovores,
and
pyrovores that all just get mortared off. There's not much that can actually deal with me. Because my rhinos just as soon as he said basically, I have to send monsters in because it's all monster mash. I have to send monsters in to kill your rhino, but then the contents of the rhino, if you take -1 save, just kill me. Which I would do. I'd take -1 save 100%
of course. Yeah.
So he's like, okay, we'll make this real quick because I'm not feeling that great either. I'm a bit knackered, a bit tired. So he said, okay, I'll just drop on the line. So he just put his entire arm in. Not you don't do it back and forth deployment. It's just like, now I'm just gonna put it on the line.
Amazing.
And I was like, okay, I have a choice. I can either play this nice and slow and normal, or I can just put it on the line. And I was feeling pretty tired as well. So I was like, you know what? Let's put it on the line.
Been playing what 15 hours of Warhammer about to get on for.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll put it on the line as well. We rolled off. I got a 4. He got a 3. I got first turn, and yeah. A lot of monsters died, the Biovore died, and he was basically just like, cool, that'll do it. He's like, yeah, that'll do. He's like, okay, so so for the rest of the game, you're just going to sit there and cleanse and teleport home, I'm going to guess. I was like, yeah, pretty much. I'm just going to keep mortaring off your little units here and there, but there's nothing that can threaten me now, because monsters have to come around the building to charge, so as long as I just sit behind it, and as soon as they get close, I move out, charge, and kill it.
Yeah.
Every time. So he knew that as well. And basically, he was just like, okay, so let me just figure out what I can score. And he basically was just like, because he still had lots of lone ops that could just teleport in and score a cheeky homers here or there. So I was like, yeah, that's fine, because basically the board was in a state where I won regardless. So I was like, okay, I'll just sit here and do this. I was like, yep, your turn, passing it back and forth basically.
Yeah.
And then basically, it was just like, okay, cool, yep, you win. I was like, okay, I was like, fair enough. It's one of those when you play long enough, especially fellows Josh Rott's brother, WC captain and whatnot. They just know when the writing's on the wall, so they try a crazy play to make there be a game. It didn't happen. The writing's on the wall. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and make him play a game for 2.5 hours.
No, of course you're not. And easily, right? Then you can talk it. You can. I know we're not technically supposed to, but you can have just an adult conversation about it and be like, "This is what you can score. This is what I can score. Are we happy?" Cool.
Because of the mission as well, because it was was it priority tags again?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I was taking old, so I'm just going to sit on them all because again, he can't contest with monsters, so I'm going to score max on that easily. Well, any contest. The second his gene steals even come close, just said I'll just rapid ingress wherever you're going for that charge, and I'll spray them on the way in.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. Literally, it is what it is. And again, I just teleport homers, and basically. Yep. You struggle to screen it out because you've got loads of monsters that now need to get aggressive because I've killed so much. So it's I just sneak in Typhus somewhere, the end.
Exactly.
Bit of an anticlimax, but it's one of those. It's just a bad matchup for him. Like I said, he was kind of done with the event at that point. Sort of
well done, man.
An easier ending than the actual round 4 and 3 was. So how was yours?
That was what was that? Was that 4-1 for you?
That was 4-1, yeah.
Well done, Aiden. Good job.
Cool.
So yeah, mine was. I'll tell you how mine went. So I obviously started the event with the loss, with my kind of weird list that I was like, we talked about it in a podcast, like on a stream, and I've got to bring it to try it out. And then like round 2, I was like, okay, just massacred Harlequins with this. Okay, I think this has got some play. I was like,
Nice.
next one, I was like, massacred World Eaters with it. I massacred World Eaters with tanks. Okay, then I was like, just went back into Knights, and I was like, oh no, the War Dog list. Lost to that badly first round. I was like, okay, just massacred that as well. Lucky, through lucky table setup, etc., whatever. So I'm like, the 4-on-1 dream is on. I'm going up. I'm back to table 7. Started on 7. Was down at 69. Back up at 7. Here we go. Let's bring a 4-on-1 home with this crazy tank list. Pairings come up. Who's my opponent? Vic. And I was like, the 4-on-1 dream has just died.
Yeah.
Vic's, for those who don't know, Vic's currently ranked 11th globally in Warhammer, and is also he's a very good player, a very nice guy, and he's playing a very meta list.
Yeah, I consider us pretty good players, but like people that who like play every day all the time are like just like another level.
But like I said, the result takes nothing away from he knows how to play that list inside out.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing as Aiden described earlier. It was 3 rhinos, all with chosen, all with lords. Everything had dark pacts. Everything could re-roll the dark pact.
Yeah, so couldn't fail it.
Nurgle. A couple of the rhinos were Nurgle. One of the Forge Fiends was Nurgle. The other one was Undivided. Re-rolling everything. Didn't fail a single dark. I think he failed 1 dark pact. Funnily enough, he failed all of them the first time, and on the re-roll, always got it. And because, as you can see from the deployment, that's not a lot of space to put tons of tanks in either.
Yeah.
So
versus in case anyone wants to see it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got first turn. The only thing I could really get an angle on was a Rhino, which I forced him to pop. I made him at least spend his CP on it. But it was everything, to what Aiden said earlier, everything hit so hard. He reserved a Forge Fiend and Obliterators. So obviously when they came in that turn, they came in within 9, and they're within half range on the Oblit weapons. So they were just like mega damage, overcharged the Forge Fiends every single time. It was Dark Pacted everything, did that every single time. Always nurgled something so that I couldn't shoot it. And as I started losing units in what I described earlier as with War Dogs, if you get them past the tipping point, they can't play the game. It's exactly what happened to me. I lost enough firepower that I couldn't do anything to him.
Yeah, and everything in CSM is just doing so much damage.
But like I said, right, we had a good game. We had a nice game. Like he's a really lovely guy, and he's a great player. And it was a big loss. It was a 97-35 loss. So I went from kind of coming off my first loss of the tournament, going right, I'm going to bring a 4-1 home with this list, and then that quickly got sorted out. But to be fair, with this list, and the whole point of it was to take something like different to what I would take. Aiden knows for well, I'm a Terminator player with my guys. I would for me to take all tanks, no Terminators, and minimal Marines really to list. I was actually really happy to go through into the event.
Yeah, definitely, man. And that's the thing in it. Like a lot of people don't remember like how much like pairings can actually just sometimes help you or screw you. Sometimes you get the easy run, sometimes you get the hard run. So
I think if like in that instance, if I'd had Space Marines across the table or almost anything but that CSM list, I think I could have done a lot of damage to it and maybe taken a 4-on-1 with it. But it was because I really started to get the hang of the list by that point in the event. But it was just as soon as I saw what that list was, AC it was Vic. I was like, okay, what's he playing? And I was like, it's going to be CSM. And then I scrolled down. I was like, oh, F.
Yeah. Oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, that is sort of our recap of our event. Again, super happy. I went 4-1. Dave managed to go 3-2. So still both super positive win rates there. So we're quite happy with that. But yeah, sort of on the wrapping up end. So don't forget, people that sort of like have just kind of joined, we do have a giveaway at the moment for these Nurgle markers. So we've got stuff like contagion trackers, objective markers, deep strike sticks, all sorts of stuff. Happily donated by Saltire Gaming. So thank you very much to him. We're doing that giveaway for members and the Discord channel, so keep an eye open for that. Another thing is we just got 3,000 subscribers recently.
Hey.
So, yay. So, as a sort of like celebration, sort of like punish me, apparently, the thing that we're doing to celebrate it is we're going to have all the members are going to basically make me a list. And I guarantee you it's not going to be a good list. And I'm going to take it to an RTT, regardless of how bad it is. And we're going to see what we can do. If you want to be involved in that, first of all, consider becoming a member. But we're going to put a channel up on the Discord. Or you can even leave unit suggestions in the comments. Like, that's fine as well. I'll try and go through it all. The most popular choices will be taken and put into a list. If you want to design an entire list and put that in like the Discord or something, feel free. And then probably in like a week from now, we're going to have a live stream where we're going to build it live on stream. So we're going to look at all the votes and stuff. We're going to build an absolute abomination of a list. It's probably going to be terrible. I know there's going to be a plague surgeon, at least one. Probably 3. So that's going to be funny to look forward to. And I'll take it to an RTT. And we're going to see how well we can do with it. And I swear to God, if I manage to go 3-0 with that list, I will be impressed. But yeah, I think that's all for now, really, mate. Have you got anything else to add?
Just that, look, I think hopefully what this has demonstrated to the great community on the podcast and the stream is that DeathGuard's got a big flexible capability. I think you've just seen us talk through 2 very different lists. Both did above win rate averages. 4-1 and a 3-2 is good results with 2 incredibly versatile lists. So keep the love with DeathGuard and experiment with stuff. Go to an event, take some different things, try out the bits that just because someone puts a list up on a forum somewhere doesn't mean that that's what you should play. Play the stuff you love, and kind of get out there and have some fun with it. But it's just, I think it's great as well to see 3,000 people, from a DeathGuard community all getting together in a really positive way. So great to be back on.
No, it's really cool to see, and like a lot of, like I said, people like Discord channel that we have, a lot of people get involved in that sort of, post hobby updates, ask questions, nothing wrong there. It's just kind of, it is really cool. Like I said, Army's in a great place competitively. I don't think we're going to get any changes. I can't see us getting any nerfs anyway. I can maybe see some of the lesser used units maybe getting a bit of an adjustment. But I don't think we need any nerfs. We're like a really good place at the moment as an army. And as the game changes around us, I think if Cultists CSM get nerfed, which I can definitely see happening, that'll be good for us. Eldar probably going to catch another nerf again, which would be good for us. New Necrons, I don't think we're too concerned about massively. I think we'd be alright into that. Wraiths are the big hot topic of Necrons, and I really don't give a shit about Wraiths. You can hit me on 6s, that's fine. Fine.
CSM is, from our perspective, CSM is our boogeyman.
Yeah, CSM is definitely the counter at the moment. And AdMech, we'll have to see. But there's not too many AdMech players in general. And everyone's sort of on the idea that their book's on the weaker end, so hopefully there won't be too many of them around, but we'll see. But yeah, for now, thank you very much for everyone that sort of joined us for the stream tonight. Hopefully you managed to learn little things too, or just enjoyed a bit of chilling out, talking about events. Will has got his recorded because he can't make it tonight, so he's recorded his Poxwalker's Playgreen. He's going to talk through his event on there, the mistakes he made and whatnot. I might do like a video on like a deep dive where I actually like get all the little. I did a thing recently, like the deployment thing, where people liked, so it's like a picture of the actual deployment map, and like moving the units around turn by turn to sort of like see where stuff was and talk through decisions. If people think that'd be useful, I can do that. I'll probably skip out some of the worst games and just probably pick 2 of the best ones and then go through it so you can sort of understand the decision making, why I did stuff that I did, why I deployed where I did. That might be quite cool. We'll see how that goes. And the Tyranid Perfect Plague should be up as well soon. So lots of content coming next week. I also need to get Box on here. Box wants to come on as well, so we definitely have to get Box on at some point. But obviously shout out to Vanguard Tactics as well. That was really cool. Still playing for that team. It was great to see everyone, yourself included, David. It's a great little community. It's nice to have everyone sort of come over to you and check up on you. One cool thing that did happen as well is at the event, at the end of the first round, a fella came over and said hello to me and basically said that he'd drawn World Eaters in his first round, and then he went and watched the video of my 5-0 game and my round 1 versus World Eaters. He did the exact same thing that I did because it was the same deployment and everything, and smashed the guy.
Amazing.
Which I thought was quite funny, actually. I was like, get in.
That's pretty cool.
Nurgling's blocking the scout, Rhino wall, all that kind of stuff, which was quite funny. But yeah, Aiden, what's it going to take to make my Fake Blight Hall playable? Buff melter, that's what it's going to take. I don't know. How do you make it playable?
The other thing I'd say about it is just have you tried it? Are you trying it and finding it failure, or is it that even Aiden and I, right, have been guilty of saying we wouldn't put it into a list, but that doesn't mean that it can't be made to work. Have you give it? I'd play some games with it, put in some reps with it, like put them in threes, put them in kind of 3 singles, like depending on how many you have, like try it out and see if you can make it work. And I think the big trick to any of these units is don't think about them in isolation. Think about them in how can you set up that usage of that unit by using something else cheaper or a bit more flexible. That I think that's probably the way to do it. I just put it on the table and come to your own conclusion about that. I don't think it's for anyone else to really tell you that you can't make that work.
Yeah, they're not terrible. It's just
no, they're not.
There's probably just better uses, but there still is 100 points only for a fairly cheap and durable unit. So there's still uses for them. There's still uses. But on that note, then I think I'm going to wrap up. Let you enjoy the rest of your evening, Mr. Dave.
Thanks, mate.
And I'm going to. I just got it. I'm sorry, Austin. It's literally ended. I'm so okay. Sarcastic, you bastard. He got me. No. All right. So thank you very much for joining, everyone, guys. Like I said, lots of stuff coming up. Hopefully next week, I'll get Will's episode up. And Spotify people again. We're just waiting on Spotify to approve the new episodes, so they'll all be up soon. So on that note, thank you very much for listening, everyone, and we will catch you on the next one. Any shout-outs, Dave?
No, just take care, everybody. Look after yourselves. And yeah, just if anyone's looking to learn anything more about playing 40k or elements, just jump on the Vanguard Tactics stream if you want to see those guys playing, and they do a really good job of actually just talking through plays, why they're doing stuff. Yeah, if you'll see someone like Stephen Box on the channel soon.
Yeah,
Thanks,
look
Aiden.
forward to it. Thank you very much. All right, take care, guys. Catch you later.
Bye, mate.